Hey everyone, and welcome to the Hype Check Pod. This week, the first thing we're going to do is not talk about something, and the second rule is we're definitely going to spend some time talking about Fight Club. This one has been a long time coming, so we are so excited to finally talk about Fight Club. And one thing I realized when I was writing the blurb for YouTube today was that I don't think we've ever actually sat there and had an in-depth discussion, the three of us, about it. Like we've talked about bits, but even before we were joking about Jack's colon and we're like jumping just certain bits and pieces, but we've never actually had a discussion around it. So I'm really looking forward to this episode of the Hype Check Pod. So again, obviously from the beginning, you guessed that we're going to talk about Fight Club, but what we're going to do is our normal. We'll do a little bit of a spoiler free about just how we felt about the actual movie itself. Now, again, it's a rewatch 29 years later. Well, no, sorry, 26 years later. So obviously, this is a classic to us, but I don't think we've ever had a discussion around it. The other reason that makes this one really interesting for the three of us is that Rich was kind enough to drop off my copy of Fight Club, the 4K Ultra HD. So we've all now watched it in the best quality we can get at the moment. And again, we'll save that discussion for later on because I really want to know what you guys think about that transfer, what you thought of the quality. Again, it's going to be a really good discussion around it, I believe, because I think we'll have some good points to talk about. But as always, with Hype Check Pod, we're here. We do trailer reactions, we do movie reviews, we do gaming sometimes. But again, it's just our conversations around what we love about movies, cinema, and we just get to hang out and have a chat. Rich, Andy, boys, I've done a long enough intro. Gents, how you doing? Rich, what's going on, man? How are you? Thank you for dropping off my copy of Fight Club, man.
No worries. We're in the area.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. And we had a lot of food. I was still.
He had a lot of
that
food.
food's
I
good.
didn't have a lot of food. He had a lot of
Yeah.
food. I was coming home from IKEA where there is
Oh,
no
we forgot
food.
to.
No, not there's food. It's just there's too much stuff at IKEA. It was 2.5 hours
Yeah,
too long.
I know. I know IKEA. I forgot to tell you about the dessert place afterwards. I need to tell you about that as
Oh
well.
yeah, how was it? Yeah,
Pretty good.
got to
Yeah,
do that
really
as
good.
well. Rich comes all the way.
Yeah.
So Rich comes at least 45, 50 minutes to eat in my area, places I've never eaten at, that are 10 minutes down the road. So again, it proves about how much Rich will come, and if it's food that they like as a fam, he'll come and experience it. And me, I'm just lazy. I go to the same three restaurants that are like 10 minutes from the house instead of going to other ones that are also 10 minutes from my house. So no, it's good, man. How's your week been, man? How you going?
Yeah, good. So it was my wife and I's anniversary last week as well. So went out for some Japanese in Camden. Great,
Nice.
great little place. All you can eat.
Nice.
It's good. It's awesome.
Oh, awesome.
Um,
Who does all
yeah,
you can
it's
eat
not bad
anymore?
either.
That's what you want. All you can eat
Yeah.
is a good thing.
So yeah, I stuffed myself. So I was good.
It was your
Yeah, and
anniversary
then
as well, man. So you might as
yeah,
well enjoy
exactly.
it.
Yeah, exactly. It was great food, great food. Other than that, just visiting family, just usual stuff. But yeah, and then finally got around. I've watched a fair bit of movies over the last couple of weeks too. So
Save it till the end, man.
yep.
Awesome. Mr. Gelfie, how you going, man?
Yo, good
Andy was
man.
kind enough to honk at me as he drove home as it was raining.
I thought it
And
was you.
he thought
I thought
it was me. He thought it might not have been me. So I'm standing at a bus stop on my way home, and then I hear this honk, and I saw the red car go past, right? And I was like, it could either be Andy or it could be someone from work. And because it was just a flash, and then my phone rings, and I go, "Oh, I know who that was." So again, I've seen you guys. I've talked to you guys very closely. Mr. Gulby, how you go, man? How's your week? How's your week been?
Good man. Yeah, good, good. Busy week at work. Covering a lot of people that have gone on leave, so just busy, which is it's not a bad thing. Watched like Rich. I watched a few movies of the weekend, which should be. I'm looking forward to discussing as well. Some interesting ones, and yeah, yeah, man, good. Life is good, man. Can't complain.
Nice, nice. I apologize to everyone. So if you tried to look for an episode last week, I felt like shit. I was really sick last week, and the boys got a message like halfway through Tuesday going, "I feel really bad. I'm not going to make it tonight." And so we just thought we'd have the week off, which is good and bad because it kind of gave us a week to refresh and sort of realign a couple of things that we're doing in the next couple of weeks. Because I'm just going to throw it out now. Tomorrow is Spider Month, man. Spider Man is upon us, and so is the Odyssey. And so the next couple of weeks are going to be full on Spider Man issues. And what we're going to do is with each of the episodes, we're going to try and visit the MCU Spider-Man, and also we're going to look at the Odyssey as well if we can get tickets because IMAX, that's out of the question now. It's sold out before anything ever happened. So again, we're going to try and see the Odyssey. We're also going to look at Spider-Man Brand New Day. So starting next week, we're going to do a little bit of our physical media corner, as well as we're going to do some episodes on each of the Spider-Man from the MCU. So again, we're not going to look at the original Raimi ones, and we're not going to look at the Andrew Garfield ones, but we are going to go through Tom Holland and the MCU journey. So it'll be the Spider-Man standalones only. We're not going to go into things like, Civil War and Endgame, Infinity War and all that. We'll leave them, but we'll just look at the standalone Spider-Man. So again, we're at the end of the month, and it's sort of given us a chance to sort of just reset and get everything ready. And again, when we look at it, it's quite funny. This is episode 18, so we've been hammering these out, which is really nice. So again, apologies to everyone if you missed an episode from us last week. We will make it up to you in the next couple of weeks because we will do maybe 1 or 2 episodes where there'll be additional content. Not trying to catch up, but just because we got a lot to say about a lot of things. So that will be coming up in the next few weeks. All right, let's get into our spoiler-free thoughts around Fight Club. Andy, I'm going to start with you because I know you've been hanging to talk about this. So again, man, what are your spoiler-free thoughts around Fight Club 26 years later and after watching it in the 4K Ultra HD?
All right, so spoiler free. This movie is still as good as ever for me. It's so good. The 4K version is probably one of my favorite 4Ks I own now, and we'll get into that later. Why? I just think it's the transfers just really blew my mind, and I'm actually keen to rewatch it. So yeah, I have a lot of positive thoughts. It's been a couple of years since I've rewatched it, and yeah, man, it's still one of my favorite movies.
Awesome. Rich, how about you, man? What are your thoughts around Fight Club? Today, 26 years later, the transfer, etc. Like, we won't go in depth in there, but hey, man, what did you think about Fight Club watching it now today?
Yeah, it's still a great movie. There's no change from when I first watched it 26 years ago. Which, funny enough, I didn't watch it at the movies when it first came out. I actually don't remember it. I do remember watching it in my bedroom when I first watched it on DVD.
Right.
Yeah, it was one of the first ones. So yeah, it still hasn't changed. I still think it's still in my top 10 of movies of all time, easily. But yeah, that transfer, we probably need to talk about it, and the audio that comes with it.
Yeah.
Soundtrack is still crazy good. It's tempted me to open that vinyl.
Don't do it. Just use his.
I don't know.
Just use Gelfie's, man. Don't worry about it. Just share it around. You guys can no. What you do is you swap it, right? So you have the unopened. Rich has the opened. He plays it, and then you swap it back where you have the opened and he has the unopened. And I have nothing at $120 if you can find it. Maybe if you're lucky, and then get it shipped for another 1,000. Hey, that's your guys' fault. Awesome. Well, I'm the same, man. I enjoyed watching this, and I threw it on Sunday night, and in my sick, twisted mind, I watched completely through, and then I watched about an hour of it with the commentary on straight after.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, like it was full on. And again, I don't know if I was a fan of the commentary on it, but you know, it was good. But the movie itself is still a classic, and I think, unlike you, Rich, I remember seeing this at the movies. Watching this movie the other night, I don't remember half of what I would have been thinking at that age. You know, 26 years ago, I don't know what I would have been thinking.
I watched
Just
the
what I
movie
thought
today.
this was some. Yeah, I know, man. It was just some cool shit, right?
Yeah.
It was a cool movie that had a really good twist, and again,
So
won't
you
deep
watched
dive the
it,
twist yet.
and you said you told me that you went and saw it again. So and you brought me
That's
and
what
I
happened.
think Clint.
Yeah, it would have been
And
you
we-
and Cletus. It would have been, because it
and we
was
watched it in-
so good.
A random cinema in Chinatown. And it was gritty as fuck, that place, like the whole of Chinatown, and it like we were in the movie.
It just suited the movie
the way
exactly, right?
Chinatown was lit. Yeah, it was awesome.
We were in Fight Club. We were into some bar. We're at Lou's Tavern. You know, we're just hanging out. I'm not going to say anything else because that's just spoiler heavy. But again, like you guys, I've enjoyed it, and again, not being the connoisseur of the 4K, the Ultra HD, but again, being influenced by you guys. And we talked about this the last week when we were figuring out, yep, let's do Fight Club. Let's just do it. It's time to do it. Let's watch it. And you guys, and I was like, I've got my original DVD. Now, again, I'll save it for physical media corner, but I've got the original DVD that is like a box package, and it's cool. It's really awesome. It's just a cover of it. But I was like, oh, just chuck that on. You guys like, nah, man, it's really worth it to wait. And then Rich made the special effort to drop it off this weekend, and it was like, you know what, I'm gonna watch it. Man, you guys are so right. Fuck me. I can't say anything besides that. It looks so incredible. The color is just it's a gritty movie, yes. Is it dark a lot? Yes. But the darks were amazing. It wasn't like watching all my dodgy movies when I'm doing the streaming going, oh, you know, you can see the color change in the black as it goes through. It was like crystal, especially one particular part at the very beginning. Like the black was so black, I was sitting there looking at it, and everything else to the side was colored. I was just like, holy shit. And then Rich, you nailed it as well. Like the audio, like there's things I've never heard. And I've watched this movie a shit ton. Have I watched it recently? No. Have I watched this movie enough to know that I heard something I hadn't heard before? 100%. The audio was incredible. The mixing was really good. The soundtrack, just from the very beginning when the movie starts, you get the Fox logo, and then it just got into it, and the music was just good. Like the full audio track was excellent. And when I was looking through the menu, it had these really random choices. I was like, I wonder what it would be like to click a couple, but we'll save all that for spoiler heavy. But yeah, man, I'm with you guys, and this was never going to be a question of if we all enjoyed it. That was a given. But the fact that we've seen it in the most pristine way at the moment with visuals and audio from the three of us, we can all honestly say the quality was amazing. And like we said, this is a 26-year-old movie. It's not new, and it looks like a movie that could be made today. Couple of questions, if we keep it spoiler free, obviously, is we've talked about the transfer. Do you guys, and again, spoiler free, so don't give away anything, but even though you know the ending, you know the story, you know how the plot works, did you still sit there and enjoy watching it? Andy, did you enjoy watching it, even though that everything's not a secret for us anymore?
No, 100%, 100%. There was some scenes that just I was like, "Fuck, this is good. This is so good." The way, well, spoiler free.
Yeah, it's got to be spoiler free, man. That's why.
Yeah, but the story just flows, and even knowing what what the ending is, it still works so well. And I mean, there is a few nitpicks here and there, but for the most part,
but that's every movie, right?
Man.
That's a normal thing, right?
Exactly.
You're not going to 100%. If everything was a masterpiece, then nothing would be exciting for you, or you'd have nothing to compare it to. So, no, man, nitpicks are normal.
But I try to see it through. Like, what would like a Gen Z think of this fucking movie? You know, or what? You know,
I
what?
can tell you, but that's
How
in the
would- how-
spoiler section.
Yeah. Because I recommended this movie to a colleague at work, and they fucking hated it. And
Oh,
I go,
But I get that. I
what?
get that. I can understand why. And again, this will be where we talk about things later because I think it's made for a certain time. I think it fits today. Like, there's a lot of things,
Yeah.
consumerism, corporations, how they work, how they dominate the world, their product placement of certain brands, etc. in there that are just on purpose overpopulate a scene on because that's what they're trying to show. And again, we'll talk about in the spoiler section. But no, man, I can get that because we live in a world that's not like this, but it still relates. And people that don't think so, I think they have either didn't get the movie,
They didn't get
didn't
it. So
understand it
this
at all.
particular person
And
didn't get it.
and that's why. If they sat there and looked at it, and I guess you've got to walk into this movie again. This is spoiler free, but obviously it's 26 years old. It's a satire. People take this as this serious lore and it's cult status film, yes, etc. But it is a satire on the late 1990s going into, Y2K, when everything was going to end, internet would crash, and how they look at certain perspectives and plot lines in the movie really fit that social time for people with the fear around them. But it still sits in something that you could relate to today if you were old enough to remember that. And I think that's where their problem is, right? They just don't get it. And if you tell them a satire, they'll sit there and go, I don't understand how that's a satire. It's like, well, we'll talk about it in the spoilers.
Yeah.
Rich, how about you, man? You reckon the same thing? Like, does it still hit the same for you as it did?
It still does. It's funny. I watched it with my wife last night, and she forgot about the ending.
Oh no!
So
really?
she was.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah, it was only her second time watching it.
Okay.
Remember, it's not really a movie that. Yeah, you got to be.
You don't be like us sickos that you rewatch every year, unless you really want to. If you understand it and you like a lot of weirdness around it. Oh, that's awesome.
So,
did your wife enjoy it?
So
did she enjoy the movie?
Yes and no. So she has some nitpicks to go through. She told me what she didn't like, which is understandable because, especially when you have a family, you kind of can't watch those kind of movies. So it's kind of like no, just like those kind of things. But other than that, like she told me all the good and bad stuff of that. But I still, to me, easily, I reckon it'll be in my top 5 of all time. There's no change. Yeah. Since the first time I watched it, and then I remember watching on DVD and then going out and buying the novel, which is somewhere around here. It's somewhere around here. And I haven't watched all the novels or
just the one?
Just the one.
Just the one. Okay.
I still have to buy the sequel graphic novel.
Yeah,
I need to buy
that. I believe there's 3 more books. There's 3 more books as well. I know there's 2 and 3 definitely. I don't know if there's a 4th, but because we'll talk about it in the in the spoiler part.
Yeah,
that'll give us
to the point of that period of time. Yeah, was it 99? So 99 was a good year for movies, man. It was a great year for movies.
I've lost Rich.
Okay, hold on. I'm just sending you a message going, you look really clear on our end.
You guys, Rich has disappeared. There he is.
But there you go. Nothing happened. It was just
there you go.
The wind blew, the rain stopped, and the internet came back. You can see us both now. Can you hear us both?
Can you hear us?
Yes, but you're breaking in and out.
Okay.
I'm going to blow the wind this way. Yeah.
I reckon that's a topic we need to do in one of our future episodes is the movies of 1999. How many good movies came out that year? It's unbelievable.
That's
Obviously, we
awesome,
already
mate.
done one of them. Is Matrix.
You know what we should do? Top 5 and shit is 5.
Do we do we count the Phantom Menace as
Well, that's why I was talking about the
top
shit is
5?
5,
Or?
right? Do I put that in the top or I put that in the bottom? Like that was one that really sprung to mind. There it was something that would be really good. No, I really agree. I think that's something we should have a look. We can do one of our mid-yearly specials. We can do a seasonal break, and we can do it. And movies of 1999, the good and bad. There you go. No one steal it, even though there's probably 7 billion podcasts with that. Best and worst movies of '99. All right. The one thing I took from this, and again, it was. I try to, like we do every week when we're watching movies, is to try to do it from a different perspective. And I couldn't. I just had to watch the movie for enjoyment. I couldn't sit there and take notes. I couldn't sit there and try and think a bit. The things like I did dumb shit, right? Like I tried to pause every time certain things happen in the movie at the very beginning, just to see if I could go back, and then I'd frame by frame it. I would go and repeat lines. Like just go through dialogue again of things that I don't think I picked up the other 4,000 times I've watched this movie. Like I think for me, having this superior quality way of viewing the movie really made it different in regards to being able to understand the lines more. And again, there's a lot of talking. And everyone knows, if you watch this podcast before, you know how I feel about talking movies. There shouldn't be dialogue, just a little bit of dialogue, heaps of action. But this movie, it was just the story is really good. And like I said, I just sat there and watched it for enjoyment's sake. I didn't watch there to sit there and go, oh, I need to analyze this. I need to remember this part. I couldn't. I just fell into the movie. And for a 2-hour and 10-minute movie, like it's not short, but it flies by, and you just sit there at the end and it's like, fuck, so much just happened. Because there is a turn in the movie where you sit there and everything's like pretty good. It makes sense. It's awesome. The story happens, and then there's just this moment, and the movie goes to chaos in a good way. Like it's a chaotic movie with so much happening, and the pace and everything and how it's written just completely changes. And I think that's one of the things that is probably overlooked in this movie, is that it's so well written. And if you get it, you get it. And if you don't, that's on you, because you need to actually try and understand it from a perspective of going, it'll make more sense if you understand what's happening. So yeah, this movie is still brilliant. I think it's one of the best movies ever made. I haven't read the book. So again, Rich, at least you have the book. I've never read it because there are some differences. And again, that's very known around the story about the movie and the books themselves, because the books do continue. And obviously how they look at Jack, we'll say Jack, the narrator, from now is very different from how the movie takes it or how it was portrayed in the movie. But yeah, it is an all-time classic and still really, really good. All right. Let's just take man. Spoiler free. Okay.
Yeah, spoiler free.
Okay.
we had planned. Yeah. We had planned this podcast since the release of, when we found out the release of the 4K, right? But out of all times that we could do this, they both show up at a FIFA World Cup game over the weekend. With all the videos and
how
memes.
funny is that too? And it's everywhere, right?
It's
my
everywhere.
social media just went, what? And it's like Fight Club reunion. And then today I called on the way home, Fight Club 2, this really bad AI trailer where it was just some really bad splicing of the most modern Brad Pitt movies and a really bad Edward Norton voiceover. And I was like, yeah, I wouldn't say no to a Fight Club 2, considering there's two more books at least that we could look at as source material. But again, okay, let's spoiler heavy it. Let's do spoilers, because how do you reckon that would happen today? Like for a movie like this, and again, everyone, this is spoiler filled now, so you've had the few moments of spoiler freeness. How do you think a movie like that would hit today? Like again, Andy, you got someone else to go and watch it, and again, the books were written closely to the original, so we're talking 90s. We're talking the 90s into the 2000s. Like it isn't something that you can sit there and go, like, for us, I think it would be amazing. I don't know how it would be for other people. What do you guys reckon if they try to make a sequel now? And with the two of them, however that would work, because again, don't know the novel. So how do you
It's such a different era. We're in such a
reckon
different time.
that would work? And that's the hard part, right?
Yeah.
Like,
It's like everything's viral, everything's online, everything's like everyone's. It hits hard when it first came out. It became a cult movie because it kind of felt underground, just like the Fight Club themselves. And this, like, you know, and then it becomes a meme. Everything's like, it's a cynical movie, and it's just hard. But it takes itself seriously enough. But nowadays, everything's a meme. It's just, I don't know, man. It's very difficult. I think it's very difficult to nail a sequel from a movie from pre internet or.
What do you mean? You don't think there'll be a Ford Fairlane 2? Andrew Dice Clay and Ford Fairlane, a sequel?
I'll be there with you to watch it if there is. But
if there is, the three of us are going to. I'm going to take it forth. My boss at work also, we had a massive laugh the other week about Ford Fairlane. And I was just like, it's because you're of the age and you understand, right?
Yeah.
And we just laughed because we went, oh, that wouldn't be made today. And we both went, no, yeah. Like you can make certain noises and someone else will sit there and go, I know what you're trying to do, right? But that's
exactly.
Again, Rich, what do you recommend? Like, could a sequel to Fight Club be made today? Because again, I'm on the same page as Andy, but what do you reckon?
Yeah, you couldn't. I don't think you could do it. And if it was done, it would probably be panned. Like, this age and generation, how everything works is different. You would have to incorporate all that into that kind of movie, which I don't think it'll fit. It's pretty strange. And funny enough, before I watched Fight Club, I watched Primal Fear.
Oh yeah.
So you had Eddie having a fucking twist out anyway, and going, being all timid and then going psychopath.
And I thought,
sorry, spoilers for Primal Fear, anyone, if you haven't seen it. Shit, sorry, just wrecked the movie.
Great movie.
He's a psychopath. Yeah.
Great movie, and he kind of incorporates how it's kind of how I see how he got the role of the narrator. So it's kind of weird how you would try, like, what kind of, can you compare to a movie like that? Something that's come out recently? I don't think you can.
So on that, Rich,
go, man.
So Mr. Robot is something that's kind of in the same vein. And you know, he's got an imaginary. His dad is his imaginary friend that tells him what to do or whatever. Because Fight Club doesn't. Obviously, it was made in a time where there was no cloud, so everyone's credits would be on a cloud now, so it doesn't matter if they blew up buildings. It would just be would make a difference.
I tried not to go to the end straight away. That was you to this week, man. It wasn't me. I didn't go to the end. He did.
You'd have to blow up the data centers,
Well, we'd have to not be at work that day, because there's one data center next to me and there's one data center next to Andy.
Mr. Robot. So if whatever sequel it looks like, it would have. I don't know. Like, the whole point of Project Mayhem is to just reset everything, so everyone's kind of equal,
create chaos.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So let's bring. Okay, so I didn't want to do this, but we're going to end up at the end. Again. like, I'm sorry. When we get into spoiler sections, I was trying not to talk about the end, but you said it, so let's go. Let's do what we always do, and let's work in reverse. So, do you like how Project Mayhem slowly built through those later? Let's go through acts 2 and 3 for the movie, right? You see them actually start to go with the small homework assignments to the bigger bits of I'm not going to call it terrorism because it's a movie, but when you look at this different parts of homework that the guys get as we go through the movie, you see it build, right? So you see it go from gradular. Now it's a little bit more. Now it's a little bit more. Now we're going to go and draw a smiley face on the edge of a building and blow out 2 windows to make the eyes. And then we're going to go and, wreck a coffee shop. And again, all these things still exist today. Like, don't get me wrong. There's franchise coffee shops all over. And again, it's something that's major. But do you see that progression for Project Mayhem and you get there and go, oh, is this a bad thing? I'm going to start with the question straight out the bat. If they reset everyone's debt back to zero, is that really a bad thing for society? Like, that's the question for you, Rich.
Yes,
is that
yes,
a
it
bad
is.
thing? Is it?
Yeah, yeah.
Why? But
Yeah.
why?
Because
if you had no debt,
Yeah, but they
and
wouldn't allow
everyone's
it.
on a,
That's the thing, right? They wouldn't
yeah,
allow it.
yeah.
It wouldn't. It wouldn't. Like back in
99
the
it
day,
would've
it would have
worked.
worked, but there would have still been some kind of recovery or something or other that would have, let it go through. Like there would be no zero reset, and
We'd have to
especially
blow up a lot of banks and a lot of credit card billing. Like,
yeah,
it couldn't be just one. There's 7 buildings they blow up in the one scene. I'm pretty sure all of America's credit card debt isn't just in that one city.
yeah,
But
exactly.
it could be. Hey,
But
it could be. Who
yeah,
knows?
but the premise is perfect, right? That's his whole way
Mm.
of creating chaos, creating, of course, mayhem, and saying that he does that, and then it would just everything would go to shit, right? Couldn't see anything that's go. People would be loving it, but the economy will crash.
That's it, right? Like, it's such a dramatic statement, but it does happen, right? And this is the thing: Project Mayhem doesn't fail. Project Mayhem works
Mm.
because they take out those buildings, and then Marla and okay, we're all in spoiler territory now, so it depends on how you. It depends on what you look at in regards to the novel or the movie. I'm going to call him the narrator, or I'm going to call him Tyler. Either way, in the books, he has a different name in the sequels. So again, that's something for people to look at as well, because he actually is called Sebastian in the sequels. The narrator is Sebastian, and his alter ego is Tyler. They're not. They're named differently. But for this instance, we'll go with the narrator, right? When he's sitting there, it ends with him and Marla holding hands, and everything goes down. So Project Mayhem. Well, no, the very end is a penis. So let's not throw that part out. That is in there because it has to make sense. But it's more of that point of where you sit there and go, okay, well, he actually succeeded, but he succeeded twice. So he's removed the mental block. So again, he's taken out Tyler, the other side of Tyler, the Brad Pitt side of Tyler, and that's been removed. And again, I never really paid attention until the last couple of years around that a lot of people assume he takes out part of his brain, but he doesn't. Like, he shoots himself in the neck. It's not like he's taken out the side of his brain where Tyler resides.
I thought
the hole is here.
Yeah.
In the beginning, so did I when I was young. But now it's more of he's just taking control, where he's basically gone and said, no, I'm in control. And he's forced the gunshot to more or less make Tyler dissipate. He's in control, not Tyler, not the other way around.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's such a good catch with it as well. And that's why I thought it'd be a funny thing to ask, because yes, it would be total chaos. Like, it sounds like a good premise until you sit there and go, well, in that society, it's probably really awesome, because when you look at everything, everyone who's in there is the blue collar, it's the hard hat, it's the worker, it's that worker piece of demographic, right? They're not overpaid, they're not skilled, they're a layer of the people that do all the shit. And he says that when he goes to chop off the commissioner's balls. Now, he says day, he goes, we're the people that take out your garbage, we're the people that cook your meals, like we're the people that make everything work, which is true in regards to how society works. And I think today, going back to the person you recommended it to, Gelfie, that's where it sits there, and there's that line, right? That is very skewed in regards to how people view their lot in life, their position of where they sit. Everyone's very self-important today. That's why we have things like Instagram.
Absolutely.
That's why we have our TikToks. And again, we're on YouTube, right? We're doing a video about a movie that we watched, and we're on YouTube promoting. These are our thoughts around it, right? But the world is very different. Where back in the 1999,
but we've changed.
Right?
We've changed since the movie came out.
Yeah.
So back in when I watched that movie, I was angry. I was that guy. I wanted to, be rebel against the system. I thought it was unfair. Now I'm the one reading IKEA catalogs and fucking.
Well, you've got an IKEA record. And again, as we all look, the IKEA light that I saw again at IKEA on the weekend, and I know that both of you have.
That's why
everything behind me is IKEA.
And that's why for me the movie hits, because it's you see yourself in that same. I've seen myself go through that transition of like being angry, getting paid fuck all, and then going through a different sort of corporate structure where now I'm in a different, a kind of position of responsibility and all that kind of thing. And
you're in a leadership role. You are a leader of people
that
work for you. Yeah. Exactly.
So then I'm looking at what can I buy to make my apartment perfect and all that kind of shit, or make my. And it could be anything. Consumerism, as you said before. So it's the movie. Yeah, for me, it just transcends my growth as a person, because I've been on both sides. I was an angry young person, a little dumb shit, and then now just looking at where I'm at now, I wouldn't want my credit rating to go 0. I've got
you built it to a good standing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's a benefit for you, right? Like again, it allows you to take certain freedoms in life that we take for granted. It's just something that's a very normal thing, owning a home, owning a car. No, well, is it? No, but again, it depends on where you sit and where you look at it, right?
Exactly.
And that's it, because maybe they're not at the age of understanding, but also the way the world is now compared to then. That movie makes sense to me just as much now as it does then, because like you said, there's been that personal growth of where it sits, and it's like, well, I'm on the other scale of it right now. Like you said, been in a role of leadership, been in a role of management, been there where I'm responsible for other people's well-being as much as they're, being able to afford life or whatever it is, and being able to make sure that they're succeeding in their roles to progress and move forward and move on with life. And
don't get me wrong, sometimes I just want to fucking retire because I think it's all bullshit, and it is all bullshit, but it's a means to an end, and it's just a game that you have to play.
Well, it's what life is, right? This is how the rotation of life is, right? You work to do the things you want, or you work to survive, depending on where you are, who you are, in the situation you're in. Yeah, no, I completely agree, man. Rich, for you, when we're looking at the end of the movie, like, do you believe that he needed to shoot himself? Do you believe the narrator needed to do that for Tyler to disappear, or could he have done something different? Again, it's a legit question. It's not a trick question.
Yeah. Well, if you look at look at what he was trying to do at that end of the movie, right? He was fighting against himself, trying not to blow up the building. I think the way the movie goes, he needs to go to the extremes, and it shows from the first image of, other than the title screen, the first image of the movie is him with the gun to his mouth. So it kind of puts it in a way that, the violence, because that's all it is, right? It's about him and violence, that that he needs to that's why Tyler pretty much is there, because of the violence. So he needed to get rid of all his, as Andy says, the day-to-day things. His
He needs to feel something.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
needed to. So that's why he started pretty much hitting himself, right?
Mm.
And then became a whole
Supposedly.
thing. So
Depends on the camera angle.
but yeah, I
Yeah.
understand why that ending is that way towards, he has to shoot himself to get rid of, because he is actually trying to end himself, not just Tyler, when you think about it. So
do you think, and this is why I asked you, because I think this is really, again, obviously, apologies to everyone. We're at the end of the movie, at the very beginning of the podcast.
Sorry. Well,
But
okay.
For me, when I look at the part where he takes himself out, I've never looked at it before as he's not trying to end anything, but he's trying to take the dominance back from
Yes.
Tyler, from that other side. And I've really not paid attention to that, because I don't think it was more of going like, the gun's not in your hand, it's in my hand. I'm in control of the situation, and I don't want this to happen. So even for the narrator, Jack, Tyler, whatever you want to call him, the credits call him narrator, so I'm going to call him the narrator. It is him just asserting the dominance of, no, I'm going to take control. I don't want this to happen. The books are very different. From what I understand, is that he's actually really more psychotic than the actual movie portrays. So that's why I asked the question at the very beginning: would it be good to see a sequel? Because the sequels are still darker, but he in the original novel is actually really psychotic. Like, he's villainous. He's not. It's not just a man that's torn, that's so deprived of sleep that his psyche's split. It's very much, he's sadistic. The other side of him is very sadistic, and Tyler actually, from what I understand, he kills. So his boss, he actually kills him. And that happens in the first
I'd kill
story.
that boss too if I had a boss like that.
But you don't know if he doesn't do it, right? Like, he's got his cornflower blue, so it must be Tuesday tie on, and and he's got his Starbucks coffee. But that's the thing too. It's very much around wondering how it would portray today, because I don't know where this story sits. Because for us and people of our generation, I think we'd enjoy it. And I think it was written in a time as well where it was very much the baby boomers, they look at the Beatle and they don't hit the Beatle originally. There's all these bits of time where it's like people from the 60s, right, had gone through, we're rebelling, we're free and easy, we love everyone, and they're the people that are in positions of authority. So there's a rotation of life that sits as you get older, and you nailed it before, Andy, is it's very much around your life's growth, right? You go from being the rebellious teenager, right, to being the person of responsibility, and how you come full circle in regards to those changes, and you start to realize things. And I think this movie, especially, again, because I've only seen the movie, don't know the novel, it shows that circle, right? Tyler goes from, the narrator goes from being an insomniac, unable to sleep, nihilist, narcissistic, to sitting there, and even through the story you see him struggle, because again, we all know the premise. They're both him. We know Tyler and Tyler, they're the same person. So you even see him have his inner struggles with his maybe guilt, maybe his growth, and you sit there and you understand from his perspective that when he goes, when they've done the smiley face and they're watching the TV, and Brad Pitt's Tyler is standing in the background, and Jack, the narrator, is like, what did you guys do? And because he's Tyler, everyone's always questioning, thinking it's a test, right? Everything is always a test. Even when he goes to the dude that's got the jacked up fucking neck, he goes, you were standing right there and asking me if security is ready and everything's prepared. It's like, you see that confusion where he sits there and everything starts to, the penny drops, right? But it's so confusing for him to sit there and watch that change, to go, there's still an element of compassion, there's still an element of guilt, and there's still an element of responsibility where he's starting to accept a little bit more. And yeah, I think that's where my mind goes. You see the end. Tyler still succeeds, but Jack, the narrator's growth, actually comes full circle where he goes, well, I don't need that part of me anymore. And then the movie ends and we see a penis. Again, I've said penis twice. That's twice. There's more because there'll be more mentions of the penis coming up later. But yeah. Sorry, that was a really long tangent around going, this movie's really cool.
Yeah, man.
All right. Let's work in reverse. I gotta ask you guys, because again, I again seeing it 26 years ago, twice in a couple of days with Andy. Do you remember if you ever thought the first time you watched it? Again, this is a stretch because who knows if we remember. Do you remember thinking that you knew what was going on? Like, did you know? Did you believe? I remember you saying that you did, Gelfie. I'm pretty sure you said there was a certain scene where you went, "No, man, they're the same person." And I do remember a sort of conversation, but again, we're talking 26 years.
I saw a teaser trailer for Fight Club when I was traveling in Italy or staying in Italy in '99, and in the teaser trailer, it was just and I've never seen it anywhere else. I don't even know if it's on YouTube.
Fucking they had Italians gave away the whole movie.
Pretty much, because it's the scene when they're on the plane, and it had their names in reverse. Like Edward Norton was Brad Pitt, and Brad Pitt was Ed Norton. So I was
that was a bit.
Yeah, so I was like,
that was a bit on the.
Yeah,
no. And they've got the same briefcase. And you never hear Jack's name.
And that was probably 3-4 months before I went and saw the movie. So that was in the back of my mind, and I thought, I wonder if they're the same person. And it was because of that trailer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you ever see Italian trailers, just don't watch it. If there's an Italian trailer, don't do it. Don't watch it because it gives away the whole movie and it will destroy, 36 years of cinema.
And I don't know if I imagined that trailer, but I'm pretty sure I saw it because I've never seen it.
Even if you did, that's all right. Yeah. That's okay. Rich, do you remember? I know I didn't.
I didn't guess it.
I never guessed that plot, and even when I watch it today, I don't. So. Rich, you're the same. You don't
I'm the same.
Being that
but then you rewatch it and go, how did I not pick that up? Like certain things.
So many parts, right? And again, what we'll do is in a couple of minutes we'll take a break. We'll take a little short break and we'll come back and we'll look at those because I think that's a really good part of the conversation. Because again, like I do every week when we go through a particular movie, I like to go and visit the internet and let the internet tell me lots of pieces of information that are about that particular movie. And this one's got some fucking crackers. This one's got some great shit around it, which it's things like I find really interesting. And again, obviously we'll delve more into the plot and we might even start at the beginning. We might even go and talk about the very beginning of the movie instead of the end. But for us, when we're looking at this, and again, for me, I still, like I said at the very beginning in the non-spoiler part, I still think it's really relevant, but you need to have an understanding. And again, I think you nail it as well. Do you, both of you, and this is a question to both of you, do you believe people took it as satirically as it was meant to be or not? Because I don't reckon so. And there's a couple of pieces of trivia that sort of cut into why the movie didn't do well in the US, at least, not so much here. But do you think watching it when we watched it, did you take it as satire or did you just think it was this cool shit movie? Because again, I didn't. Satirically, I wouldn't have understood half of it. And again, I'm in my 20s then. It's not like I'm young enough to sit there and go, I'm not young and dumb and full of you know what, because that's what movies tell you. But but at 20, am I sitting there and looking at it from the gaze that I look at it now, where we talked about in this beginning, we know the plot, we know the twist, we understand the duality of the character, right? But back then, I don't know if I took it as a satire, if I just looked at it and went, no, this is the world we live in. Like from a person watching a movie like this, I believe this is just the way it was.
Yeah,
okay.
That's the same. I was 21, and never stepped foot in fucking IKEA.
If you're 21, fuck,
Yeah.
that makes me older. Okay, I was in my mid-20s.
Yeah, 21. As
been smarter
if I
than
know
that.
what like furnishing my own apartment was. You know, we were
Exactly. Yeah.
That is true, right? Yeah, that's true. That's so true. No,
Oh.
okay. Rich, you're the same. Like, did you take it
Yeah,
as a satire, or did you just look at it and go, like, this is the world we live in and where it could be, right?
Yeah.
100%.
Exactly. 100%. Yeah, 100%. Because I was turning 20 and I was like, what the fuck's IKEA? Exactly. Like, I had no idea.
And now we all have lamps from IKEA. I got two.
Exactly.
Two of them right there, and a shelf and a case.
And funny enough, that's how we got in. That's how I got introduced to IKEA. That's how I found out about it, and it's kind of, it's kind of weird how you think back, and I'm like, well, I didn't know about IKEA until Fight Club showed me what it was all about. But yeah, I would have been 19, I would have been 19 because it would have been because they came out. I think it came out mid-year. From what I remember, April, May.
I can't
remember now.
I'm like,
but
I seen it twice.
Like I literally cannot remember if I watched it in the movies or not, but I probably did because we went to the movies every week during that time period, and '99 was a crazy year. But yeah, I just took it as an awesome movie that was about everyday kind of person, not about the satire as everybody has, like people mention, right?
Yeah, I still thought like the satire got me was like, obviously working for somebody else, like working in a corporate environment, because I was working for a Deloitte's, I think, at the time in the mailroom. So I was like a nobody in the mailroom with all these suits and stuff like that, and I just thought, man, all these. I could relate to working for a douchebag like the guy in Fight Club. And just all these rules, all the rules that are involved with fucking.
And the person that took their role so serious because this is their progression path, right? I'm going to go from leading the mailroom. I'm going to go upstairs to sit with our mate's mum, who's an EA and had one of the big wigs there, and
So yeah, I could relate to it because I was so young and I was just starting out my career or working, trying to make money, and I wanted to buy stuff, and that's I guess that's kind of the point of his arc is you can't buy your way out, into perfection. Like it's just or evolve with by buying stuff. And that's what you're trying to say, and
that's Tyler, right? Tyler's full of that voice of reason. You don't have to be perfect. And again,
that was cool.
I'm sorry,
like
cool. My only
down
part, the only part that I have a real nip. I'll do nitpick number one. Brad Pitt's a good-looking man, right? He's built like a fucking shit house, and he's sitting there going, "Yeah, we don't have to look like Calvin Klein model, dude. You are a Calvin Klein model, man.
Exactly.
You are a again, from a you're a good looking man. Like, again, and you've got that element of him saying you don't have to be. We're not why do we have to have someone's name written on our underwear and shit like this? And there's all these bits and pieces where you sit there and you take it. And again, Brad Pitt is fucking awesome in this movie. Like, no one could do Tyler Durden like he does. There is no actor that could have done. He was perfectly cast. And so was Ed Norton, I believe. I think Ed was perfectly cast in there. But again, like you said, Gelfie, it's that consumerism around us sitting there and going, oh, okay, to believe you're somewhere, you have to have these things. And they complete you. And again, this is what the beginning of the movie is. And we'll get into this after the break as well. It is very much around there is the line where the cop calls Paper Street for whatever, I don't know the numbers. I don't know how anyone got the number for Paper Street soap company, but everyone had that fucking number. Marla had it, the cops had it. Obviously, he forwarded the number somehow because whatever. But again, even the cop says, when he's having that conversation, he's like, that was my life. Like
Yeah.
it was perfect. I was almost complete, right? And
Yep.
then the twist happens, obviously, and again, we've already talked about, and we're in spoiler territory.
But he didn't feel alive.
Obviously,
he couldn't sleep.
No, and so his alter ego blew the shit up. And again, we'll talk about that because I want to ask if there's discourse around who blew up the apartment. So we'll talk about that. But what we might do is let's take a really quick break, and again, we'll come back and let's start with the beginning of the movie and have a little bit more of a conversation around, because obviously there's a lot to talk about. But let's jump into the very beginning, and let's start with the question around the apartment, because I reckon there is a bit of a 50-50 sort of split around the apartment and why it was done. So we'll talk about when we come back. But everyone, we're going to take a really quick break and we will be back in a sec. See you soon. Hey everyone, just a little bit about us. We're the Hype Check Pod. We love to talk about TV shows, movies, physical media, video games, and all the things that we enjoy about them. If you're enjoying the content so far, then please like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. We're on things like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and obviously here on YouTube. Please leave a comment. Let us know how you feel about the episode, us, what we're talking about. But again, if you think we're going above and beyond, then we'd really appreciate your support. You can do that by buying us a coffee. How do you do that? There is a link down below in the description of all the places that you can find the Hype Check Pod. Please join us every week as we talk about the things that we love. And again, it is in our own opinion. So again, you can like it or you can disagree with it. But as long as you join us every week for the conversation, that's all that's important. Take it easy, everyone. And now back to the episode. Everyone, we are back. I say, are you ready? And you just went to look the other way. The cat's all right.
Sorry. No, I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
You're not ready?
The mascot.
That's all right. We're going now. At the end of the day, you can always turn off your camera. So that's all right. All right. What we're going to do is we're going to jump to the beginning and have a bit of discussion. Like I said, we'll mention a couple of the trivia things as well that I've heard, because they actually make more sense even now after watching the movie again in its full 4K clarity. And what we'll do is we'll also let's start with that. Let's put a break on the movie for a sec and talk about the 4K quality, because I think that made a really massive difference for at least me when watching this, because the movie looked fucking spectacular. Like, it is dark and grainy, like I mentioned at the beginning, but it's so clear. And the Brad Pitt pauses, or the intercuts, or the bits where they've got the single frame. I took a photo of all of them. I missed one. I mean, there's 4 and I missed one because I forgot the one where he's standing near one of the guys in I think it's the testicular cancer one.
The support group?
The support group one. That one I missed taking a photo, but everyone else I got. That was so clear that it looked real fake. Like, it was so clear when I frame by framed it. I was just like, oh, that is the best fake shot ever of Brad Pitt just standing there or smiling, or it was so good. But even looking back at the movie, like, I remember, like, and again, obviously when they discuss the night jobs that Tyler has, or the narrator, or Jack, or Sebastian, whatever you want to call him, because he has many names, this bloke, Eddie Norton's character. Like, again, one of the night jobs is where he sits there and splice porno frames into kids' movies, and everyone cracks up. And again, it's quite funny when you see everyone sort of, like, again, you notice it now more so, and because of the quality and the fidelity of the actual format of which we were watching the movie, like, it was very clear, those cuts. How'd you guys like the transfer? Like, I know we talked about it really, really lightly in the non-spoiler part, but before we talk about the rest of the movie, what do you guys think of the transfer? Because I know for me, it was fucking immaculate. It was such a good transfer. Rich, Andy, who wants to go first, man? Who wants to talk about the transfer?
Go, Andy.
You want me to go? Okay, sweet. I thought, like you guys thought, that it was an amazing transfer. There's some scenes where I was just like, "Holy fuck, this looks good! This looks so good." In particular, when they have that first fight outside Lou's tavern, and it's dark, and it's got like the reflection from the water. There's the neon sign for Lou's tavern, and Brad. Yep, and then Brad Pitt's jacket just really fucking pops on the transfer. It was amazing. It was just so good. I'm actually keen to rewatch it just for the transfer alone. I think it's one of the best 4Ks that I own, and I own a few hundreds. So I think it's
a few hundred is correct. He owns a few thousand. You own a few hundred. I own 12.
So I think, I'm so impressed. And like you guys brought up the sound, and you're right. There was sounds I'd never heard before in the movie. I thought the dialogue was like it was a weird
Dialed down a little bit.
Dialed down, yeah. And the surround sound was just all these sounds of certain things. It's awesome.
The car crash, man. The car crash was intense.
Yeah.
Like that and the first fight and the one
plane.
thing. Sorry, Rich, I full jacked it as well. Sorry, man.
No.
The first fight Andy was talking about too. Even that, it was the punches were that not dialed down, but there was realistic. You know, in that time frame of movies, like punches were always exaggerated, right? The sounds were always overboard. Like we laugh at the martial arts movies because there's a lot of like they're very distinct sound. But that was a realistic sound, right? Like they were very not music, but they sounded authentic. And I thought it was really good. Sorry, Rich. I'll shush. Hey, man, what do you think of the transfer? Oh, no. Don't be like that, Rich. Here you go. Who jumps off? Okay, I'll talk about it. No, I thought, like I said, I think the transfer was really good because, like you said, it's a dark movie. Like it's not this vibrant.
Wait, you guys are talking at the same time.
Oh, I can't even. I've lost Rich. I've lost Rich completely. Oh, Rich, come back. Could you hear Rich?
Yeah, you guys are talking over each other.
I can't see and I can't hear Rich. Oh, there we go. Talk, Rich.
Can you see me?
Yes, I can hear and see you. I'll talk. Shush. I'll shush. Sorry, man. You disappeared off everything.
Oh, because you disappeared off everything.
Oh, okay. You disappeared. Okay, you go. I'll shush.
Okay, what were we saying? The transfer, right? So you disappeared again, or you just blank?
No, that's me.
Okay.
I turned off the camera.
Yeah. So we all three of us agreed the transfer was A+, right? So that's what we're saying that I think in Panic Room he used a bit of AI for the transfer.
Really?
Yeah, from what I read. Not sure about this one though. I need to do some research, but he did do some minor little things to, do some touch-ups and stuff like that.
I've heard that. I have.
Yeah, but I didn't notice anything, to be honest. It's like you basically nitpicking. Oh wow, you've done this, you've done that, but it wasn't even noticeable. Like the transfer was great. Not like if people who don't like noise on their films, this is probably a good one for you because it did do that. Got rid of a lot of noise off the image.
Right.
But the transfer was crazy sharp, 4K for sure, especially on the OLED. It was insane. Audio was great. I'm not sure if did he do a remaster on the audio? I can't remember. I got to read. Yeah. But it's
not Atmos. I don't think it's not an Atmos.
It's TTS HD. So I think he used the original theatrical, mix and then upgraded that, but still on DTS. But yeah, it made more sense. At first, I was like the dialogue was a bit low, and then all of a sudden that plane crash, it was like really loud and like really made us jump. And it was like, okay, it was kind of like, all right, you've done a bit stuff here. But that and what was the other one that I kind of the car crash. There was another scene I can't remember now that was pretty crazy.
Coffee shop
Um,
was sound in the coffee shop was pretty full on, like the shattering and
yeah,
everything.
the
That was
shattering and
full
stuff.
on. Like as you heard the ball roll, like you heard it go through the
Mm,
water, and then you heard the
Mm.
glass shatter it was intense. It was like
mm.
incredible. Well done. Yeah.
One thing I did love, they kept the menu.
Yeah. So again, on the
Mm,
4K release and the older DVDs, it has the Never Been Kissed. And again,
yeah,
if you know, you know.
I
But
love that.
even for me, like I was looking at it going, oh, shit, I'd forgotten about this menu.
Yeah,
And then as it starts to static and you see Jack's apartment and you sit there and you go, oh yeah, it's how it should be.
yeah.
Again, Rich, thank you for that. There's another one on the original DVD, the piracy warning. If you read the piracy warning, it's actually an emancipation of Tyler's. And it's him talking about why are you wasting your time reading this? This is unimportant to the actual film. And it was a full, like again, like they played up to everything in this movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the 4K menu exists, but on like still does the Never Been Kissed. But if you look at the original DVD, it has the piracy warning, which is just
Mm.
Tyler's words through the whole thing. He's written a whole script around what are you doing? Why are you reading this? Why are you wasting time looking at this? No, nice.
But
Okay,
yeah,
go
it's
man.
good that they had all the original features and stuff like that still as well. I didn't like as you did the commentaries. I might have to get into that.
The commentary is good. I think the commentary is great. Ed Norton is a the man
Is
has a
it
brain.
new commentary or is it like a updated
It's
one?
Nah, I think
it's the
it's
original-ish
original.
commentary of him, but
Okay.
it's like I just I enjoyed it so much watching it where I wanted to take some bits of information. So I put the commentary on, and Brad Pitt doesn't talk for like 20 minutes. It seems like Brad doesn't say shit, and then he starts to get into it. But then
Mm.
Ed Norton, man, Ed Norton is a student of film. Like this dude just says shit, and you sit there and go, wow, I need to look at what you just referenced or to
Mm.
understand. Like,
Mm.
again, I get why the dude wanted to take over the MCU. I don't think it would have been the way it was now. Again, I think Feige won on that one. But again, there's a lot of things around Ed Norton wanted a lot of control over the Incredible Hulk to
Mm.
make it more cinematic and all these bits and pieces. Obviously, that's why he's no longer with the MCU, but Feige was in control. But yeah, man, the commentary is really good because it has. Now, again, if you listen to it, you'll sit there and they seem very separate. So it's Fincher, Norton, and Pitt, and then it seems like Helen Botham Carter's really separated. I don't think she's in the same room, so they sort of intertwine the dialogue, but I don't think she's in the room with the boys through that whole thing. So having an English woman playing an American playing I don't know, very damaged goods. How she interprets it around the character and stuff is really good. But yeah, I recommend listening to the commentary. Like I said, I only
Mm.
listened to the first hour of it and then really had to go to bed. But yeah, man, it's so worth it. And like I said, I watched it straight after. So the visuals are still there. So obviously a lot of the dialogue's dumbed down for the commentary, but the visuals are still there. So it's actually good, even if you want to just see the visuals and listen to the commentary. It works really well. Nice. All right. Let's jump to the very beginning. Let's go back to after all that about the 4K transfer. So again, if you're interested in the 4K transfer for this particular film, it is a must. Like, get it however you can. Again, we all got it from different places. Rich and I got it from Rare Waves, and Andy got it from Amazon, only because we were just struggling to try and get more than 3 copies without it being
Mm.
difficult. And in the end, and we all paid around the same price for it. So again, obviously it's a steelbook. Again, you may not be able to get that, but get the 4K transfer. If you can get a 4K version of this movie, you'll be incredibly happy with the visuals, but also, like I said, the audio. And we've all agreed on the audio is really well done. So
Mm.
again, and you get the original menus and stuff like that. All right, let's jump back into the beginning of it, because this is the one thing I wanted to ask everyone. From your guys' take around the actual beginning of the movie, we're not going to go, beat by beat on this, but we'll go through the beginning and bits and pieces. Probably our favorite parts of the movie, or parts that were really made a difference to the story and progressed it. For me, when we're looking at the apartment, Which version of Tyler do you reckon actually sabotaged the house? And when do you think it happened? I've looked at the discourse on the internet and I don't think it works this way, but again, it's up for discussion. So as we get to the airport, they've had the first conversation. Oh, we've got the same bag. It has happened. Tyler's given him his number on the card, and obviously he gets his bag taken away because it's vibrating again. The vibrator joke, it's not your vibrator, it's a vibrator. It's obviously we're talking about the item in the bag to make it rattle, not tick. When we see the cutaway to Brad Pitt jumping in the car, obviously we all know that he's stealing that vehicle, right? At that cut, a lot of discourse that I've seen at the moment is around that is Brad race. That is Tyler Durden racing to the house to actually set off the explosion. Do you guys agree that's when it's happened, or do you go with the conversation he has with the cop, where he may have, and we're talking about the narrator side of Tyler Durden. Do you think the narrator side has gone and left the gas on, knowing that the compressor on the fridge will actually explode at a certain point in time? Because we hear the policeman mention the homemade dynamite. We also know that it was building up with gases. So again, we could say Freon, we could say the gas from the stove, whatever it may be, and then the compressor from the fridge sets it off. The discourse around the internet is saying that a lot of people believe when Brad jumps in that car, he's actually, that version of Tyler is racing to the apartment to set it off. Do you guys agree with that after all the dialogue in the movie? Because again, I know I'm forcing everyone to go back to the dialogue that he has, especially with the cop. The first time when he calls Paper Street is the dialogue around, there was homemade explosives, so there's homemade dynamite. The gas had been left on, but then people are saying that Tyler actually stole the car and raced to the house to explode it to make it blow up instead of him arriving to see it. Because again, we know Ed Norton arrives as it's exploded. All his worldly possessions are outside. I don't know if I agree with it. Do you guys think that's something that happened? Or do you think the dude just stole a car? So he watched himself steal a vehicle. He was obviously in his sleep phase, unconscious, however we want to look at it. And he was just driving home.
Yeah. Who is he at that point?
That's it. And this is where a couple of questions come. Like, I love the twist around the movie, but there's a couple of things where I sit there and I get really confused around it, because looking at, well, not confused, but I'm not sure if the discourse around reviewers, pundits, internet watchers that I agree with, right? That bit I don't agree with. I don't think he raced home to blow up the apartment. I think he had set it in motion when he went on that trip, because it was okay. That
because
one's one. Rich, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, because the whole, remember when he's talking to the cop, he raises his eyebrows as well, thinking, I'm thinking he was like, oh shit, that kind of stuff. But it also, like, we'll go back to what you said. He goes, does he understand that, or he sees Tyler, but does he understand Tyler yet? And no, but he is Tyler already. Because remember the whole group section, and before that he was in psychiatry trying to say, and he's saying, I wake up in certain places and I don't know why, and
I don't know how I got there,
got there, and all that kind of stuff.
He has the flashes of Tyler,
Tyler and stuff like that. So he
that are really bad stills if you look at them, but they look awesome. But
so us as viewers already know that something's happening. We just don't know what it is, right? But he can't. In that certain view, in that certain scene, I don't think it's him racing.
It's plausible,
It is.
It is, right? It is plausible. But do you think that as people that have just recently watched it, like, for me, I don't, because the policeman's story is what really counts for me, is there's homemade dynamite. the gas was left on for
Yeah.
ages, like it had built up. Okay, the chiseled part about the door, okay, to let some air in, whatever. But the fact that he raced home to to blow up the apartment, even because then how does he end up downstairs? Like,
So
how does he end up back down there?
how does the compressor ignite?
Well,
The
Yeah.
cop explains it. That's right.
yeah.
explains it,
So
yeah.
you always and you hear it at night as well. Your fridge, when it makes that sound, it is a compressor there that has an electrical spark, which could set off the apartment. And again,
that's the answer,
etc. And that's what I think too. But it's like I was like such a, and again, it forced me to look at it a different way and go, oh, did he? Because when he admits it in the car, as he goes, why do you think I blew up your apartment, and the car, and he lets it flow over the side, right? That part was like, Tyler, the version of Tyler that did it, but you don't know when. And it's just like, if you listen to the cop story, it's very much, oh, this was planned. And again, he's always on trips. He could have easily been asleep, set the Brad Pitt Tyler version, could have sat there and gone, okay, let's just leave the gas on as we leave, knowing what would happen. Had he planted dynamite? Did he already have Paper Street? Like, there's all these things where you sit there and go, like, when did the narrator find Paper Street? When did he go and squat in this house? Like, there's all these bits that are these time jumps that we just don't see in the movie. And it's like,
no, we don't.
When do we know? When does he actually go in many of his jobs? Because we know, obviously, he works in the restaurant, he works at the hotel, he's a film projectionist. There's all these things he does at night because he can't sleep as the alter ego. But when did they take property of Paper Street? And the one thing that I heard in a couple of, like, not breakdowns, but more of just misconceived concepts of the movie, was that Paper Street was always, as was a term of, it wasn't a real place. So Paper Street was a property done by developers where they go and list a particular street and property, but it didn't exist. It existed on paper. So that's why it was Paper Street. It wasn't a real residence. So it was something that was off the books almost. And it's just like, okay, that's a bit much because there's a physical place. That is a thing. Yeah. There's an actual thing around that. The Paper Street was, it was creative where developers or property owners would say, this street, this house exists. They would never build on that property, but it was a thing. Paper Street was a way of saying
the movie. That doesn't need to be.
No, and that's it. This is looking at it 26 years later with other people going, oh, Paper Street. Okay, it's fake. It's a fictionalized property that developers would use to have land ownership without actually putting properties on it, but it existed as a physical property on a particular street. That's why it was a Paper Street. It was developed for paper, written down pieces of records.
So what you're saying is that we don't know how long the narrator's been in this.
This state.
In this state. Yeah. So there's all these gaps, like you said, that we're meant to just fill ourselves because and just take it for what it is. So I wonder,
it is what makes it an entertaining movie, right? Yeah. Like, again, you sit there and go, oh shit, I've never thought of that way. How long has he been working at the what was it called? What was the hotel? I can't remember now the hotel's name, but how long had he been working as wait staff there at night because he couldn't sleep?
Or if a book fills in those gaps in some way, I don't know.
Yeah, I think the book has more detail. Yeah, Rich, you're gonna have to read it. Let us know. So that's Project Hail Mary and this one, man.
Read it again. But yeah, it starts out when after the time jump, then it switches back to the narrator. He's already an insomniac, so you can't understand how long. Does he? I can't remember if he actually says how long he was in insomnia.
No, because it's always periods of time where he's talking about how long he hasn't slept. It's not how long he's not been able to sleep, but it's always, I didn't sleep 4 days. I haven't slept for a week.
Exactly. You're right.
It's always a time period where he's unaware. And I think that's where the movie really starts to make a lot of difference around, where you sit there and you, like, at the beginning, you really feel for the narrator because you just don't get it, right? Like, yes, there's all these things that now as we watch it for the 50th time and sit there and go, like the car park fight. Andy mentioned it before, fighting outside Lou's. Like, again, now that we've seen the movie 1,000 times and we know that he's just punching the shit out of himself, and the first person is that tall bloke that says, "Oh, can I have a go?"
Can I have one? Yeah.
And he's, yeah, can I be next? It's like, okay, how it sort of develops, but again, you don't know that until the end. But with some of the things like, when he's flying around the country trying to figure out where he's been, where he talks about deja vu, it's like, well, it's not, because you just were awake and not. And again, this is the question I wanted to ask you guys around that whole premise: is he asleep or is he just semi-conscious? Because obviously he's doing shit in his sleep. And again, I don't know how sleepwalking walks.
He's not asleep.
He's not. He's an insomniac. So he's not. He doesn't sleep. When he thinks he's sleeping, he's Tyler.
Yeah. So is that him being unconscious? Is he just unaware of the actions? Like, because a lot of the time they mention him when he's not able to know where he is, he's asleep, right? He's just clicked over to the other.
Yeah,
the other
personality is, right? So he just splits. He goes from one to another.
That's what I think.
He's not asleep. He just turns into another person.
Yeah, when he thinks he's asleep, he turns into Tyler, and Tyler does the rest. And then when he wakes up, he doesn't know. He wakes up as himself, and he sees Tyler at the same time.
At the same time,
he thinks he's talking to Tyler.
Okay. But he goes both ways, right? Because there's certain times that he's Tyler and he sees the narrator.
No, see, this is what I don't think. He's always. This is where I think it's always. He's always either the narrator, and I think he says this
wait. So how would you explain the whole Lou bit, the Lou's pub bar thing?
Okay, so here's I got a gotcha for you, because I saw this today and I was like, this is a fucking really mad one, and that one I had never paid attention to. All right, so when Lou is, when he's resting on the pylon, right? When Lou strikes him, the Brad Pitt, Tyler Durden, they pan over to Ed Norton, and I've never noticed this until I saw this thing being mentioned today. You see Norton wince as he gets punched in the gut. So he sometimes believes, and it's the same with the sex scene when he walks up to the door, and we'll get to that in a sec. Sometimes he thinks he's watching Tyler. He's actually, you see the Ed Norton character actually wince when Lou hits him. It's actually him, but he's projecting, watching. And so it goes with the sex scene. So when he goes to the door and the first time, and again, I find this one funny. I don't know if everyone else does, but I do not know why Brad Pitt has gloves on. I don't know. I said Brad Clip. I do not know why Brad Pitt has gloves on. Like, why does he have gloves on and nothing else? I don't know what he's doing. He says she's into some kinky shit. I think.
Pitt,
I know what part you're talking about. Yeah. See, it's part where he's going, "Oh, do you want to have a go? Do you want to finish her off?" Yeah. And it's like, okay. Yeah, like there's that weird part as well where he always, sometimes he imagines him watching the thing. I think that's where it turns into for that one, especially with Lou's. And again, like I only saw that this afternoon where I was like, oh shit, I've got to watch it again just for that. So yeah, when when Tyler Durden gets punched in the gut by Lou, watch Edward Norton. You see Norton react like he's just been hit. The other side is also the ear. So when he punches himself in the ear in the beginning? When his boss comes in?
Yep.
When his boss comes in and he can't hear shit?
Yeah.
He's punched himself in the fucking ear.
Yeah.
But the other side is the other one the internet says that I disagree with, is that when he's in the, when the guy's doing the, can I have the icons in fucking blue or whatever? Is it? Yeah, I know. Yeah, my man knows. We talked about this before. And he does the rinse of blood.
Yeah.
He holds his ear, but it's the wrong ear. So I don't agree with
I wouldn't agree with that one. So I got a question then.
Because it's that one, and then he holds this one in the
other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I got a question. So
yeah, go.
now that we've watched it on 4K, have you
Sorry.
now watched a scene or a part of the movie that you didn't realize before? Like, is it the first time you realize something in this viewing the past week? Because I did one and I didn't realize it until I watched it last night.
No. Would I recognize stuff now? Yes, because I watched too much shit on the way home. All the other bits of fact where I was like, oh, I didn't really think of that. No. So for me, no, I didn't.
I don't
Andy?
think so. No, I don't think so. I don't remember anything sticking out. I think I.
What did you see, Rich? What happened, man?
So I've seen this about I'd say about 50 times. And you know the part that just flew by my head and I just didn't realize until yesterday?
Mm.
The assignment about picking a fight with anybody, right?
Mm.
Yeah, the priest is the one he fights later on. Yeah. The
That
priest is
did
the
not
guy that
click.
hugs him. Yeah.
Hugs him in the next fight. It didn't click to me that he was the guy in the next fight that he gave him a full hug. And I'm like, wait a second, it's a freaking
I didn't pick up on that.
No, and that's the one thing. Yeah. The priest is one. Okay, there was one. You reminded me of one. The bus driver, the black bus driver, when he gets off the bus, when he's got all the folders and stuff nearer to the end.
Mhm.
I've never realized, and again, you can take it as being rude. The dude is fucked up, but his nose is massive. But I didn't realize he was one of the, I don't know, members of Fight Club. I never looked at the bus driver and said, oh shit, he is. I just thought, yeah, okay. But I never realized how fucked up the guy's face was. But no. The priest I had seen. Yeah,
it just clicked to me last night. As soon as I saw that next scene, I went, wait a second. After how many times I've watched it, did not click.
Okay, so one trivial fact. Here we go, another trivial fact. So, when they're on the bus, both Tylers are on the bus, and the guy pushed past him.
Both of them?
Yes.
The next
he's in the
fight
Club.
So the one where Brad Pitt's on top of him, he's pounding his leg. That's the guy on the bus.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. I picked up on that as well.
You say that one? Yeah. So the priest, the bus. Yeah, no, that was it. Yeah, no, the priest one I'd sort of realized before, but man, that's it's just that's it, right? Everyone they fight, but even the guy that he the African American dude that he fights, and he goes, how about next week? And he goes, oh, how about next month? In the titles, his name's Fighter Next Month. That's his name. The character in the actual titles. It's like, you're fucked. Actually, one I was going to bring up, and you mentioned it ages ago, Rich, and it was is the beginning intro, the credits, right? The intro to the scene is his brain misfiring.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I never thought of it as his brain misfiring. I thought it was traveling through his body, to up the esophagus to the gun barrel.
Because you see,
but I never realized. But I didn't think it was ever the brain misfiring, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
I've watched this movie 1,000 times. Not that many, really. But I was just like, I didn't realize that was your brain misfiring. I thought it was coming upwards, not around and back up your throat. I was like, fuck yeah. And that was because of good sound and really stunning visuals.
And funny enough, did it kind of pave the way for the visuals afterwards? Because X-Men took part of that.
Okay, so another fact I heard today. The titles, Fincher paid for himself because Fox didn't want to pay the amount of money that the visuals took for the intro scene. So basically what he did is he funded it. They put the intros into a version that Fox saw, and they went, okay, you can keep them. They weren't always going to keep that intro. If Fox weren't going to fund anymore to make it like the way it looks now, they were actually going to pull it out and just put, big title cards up. And I was just like, can you imagine Fight Club starting any other way?
No.
Orchestral piece, Dust Brothers, and the Fight Club, and there you go. And it's just like, okay, yeah. No, it was.
Man, this movie is so fucking good.
Yeah,
It is, right? And even
There's
now,
so many little
right?
things.
Like, yeah, and even now when we look at it, right, I know I've said it like 50 times in this episode, but it's like it's 26 years old. It's not new. It was after Pitt and fucking Fincher did 7.
Yeah.
So even that, like 7 was an amazing movie. This
Exactly.
is just like a level beyond.
Do you think modern movies have just been dumbed down so much that?
Yeah, because people are stupid.
Yeah.
I'll say it. I don't care. I'll take the heat on the internet.
But the other
Some
thing
of us
is,
are stupid. No, I
know this was a flop, but it's such
because
a
people
movie.
didn't
It's
get
so
it
good.
right.
Mm.
Sorry, Rich, go, man.
I'll give you one thing that wasn't around in that era. Comic book movies. There wasn't much around. I reckon that's part of what people are expecting to watch these days is those type of movies. When you get original, like just think about Obsession and we're talking about The Barbarian, right? All those kind of horror movies all coming back into effect now.
Yeah.
But back in the day, it's like, you'd release it, it would just be a hit straight away. Like all horror movies, these type of movies, like original, or this is based out of a novel, but just original making. It's pretty hard to make it now unless it's a franchise or a sequel or a reboot or something like that these days, I reckon.
Okay, I guess that's a question, right? Andy, you're probably on the same page. When he says, when they're on the plane, they meet for the first time, he goes, how's that working out for you? What? Being clever. Like, do you think modern audiences aren't smart enough? Like, not in a, I don't mean it in a mean way, but do I think that just life's very different where if it goes over their head in regards to it. Like, again, we look at this movie from being a satire from a really not a depressing era. We all lived through the 90s. The 90s was fucking mad. But
awesome.
There was a lot of things in regards to the world and how it would survive. Everyone was worried about computers just stopping and the world would cease to function.
And the 90s is nothing like what it is now.
But do you think that's what it is? Like,
amplified version of everything.
But do you think it is? And again, the thing we haven't talked about, and I want to come back to, is this movie is really around, and again, a lot of people will say it's based around masculinity, and it is to a point, but there's 3 females in the movie. One is one of the group leaders, the other is Chloe, and the other one is obviously Marla. And again, we haven't even touched on Marla as a character in this movie.
No.
This is the thing. And we haven't talked about Bob. Robert Paulson. We haven't talked about his name is Robert Paulson. And we will get to Robert Paulson, but let's take the turn, because I think a lot of people sit there and go, it's just a man, it's a fucking dude movie. It's like, it's fucking, and if you look at it in a weird fucking way, it's the most romantic love story since Romeo and Juliet. She's fucked up. He's fucked up. He's got another personality. There's a love triangle with 2 of them are the one person. The final scene of this movie is him and the person that he actually knows he cares about holding hands, and then credit expires for the universe. All of America, they're reset. Everyone's got 0 credit. Nothing exists. How important is Marla to the story? Like, Andy, what do you reckon? Like, again, I've never taken the account of it thinking around, she's the reason for everything in this movie, and there's a lot of things that tie into it. What do you reckon? Do you think that's a fact? Do you think Marla is actually the main protagonist of every event that happens in this movie for him?
No, I wouldn't go that far. I think
why? Tell me why.
Well, because for me, I don't know. She was like the
parasite.
Parasite
that invaded all his meetings.
She's like the divider between him realizing that he's got 2 personalities, and that's like she was like the thing that's keeping him honest in a weird way. Because obviously, like, Tyler doesn't want him to talk. Oh, doesn't want himself to talk about her because then it would all unravel.
It breaks everything. Okay, I
Yeah.
gotta fuck you for you though.
Mm.
Nothing happens until Marla. Do you think Marla's the reason he
What do you mean? Because he's
Everything
already Tyler. He's already
he
Tyler at
is,
that point.
but the reactions and the dominance of the Tyler Durden that we see does not happen until he meets Marla Singer, until Marla invades all his therapy groups, and Tyler is almost combating this woman that's invaded his space. Do you reckon she's the reason he splits? Rich? I can see Rich is pondering because nothing happens. She's the reason that you don't meet Tyler until after you've met Marla, where he already hates her.
Oh, that's a fact.
Whoa, wait. When does the apartment blow up?
After the plane, after they split the groups. So when they split the groups is when you see him, what his job is, and when he meets Tyler on the plane. Do you think Tyler is there to compensate for Marla invading all these groups?
You got it. You nailed it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah?
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Sweet.
Yeah.
See? Fuck it.
Yeah.
It wasn't me. All right. Because this is where she's like the ultimate thing in this movie, which is overlooked, is that with Marla, she's the reason everything happens. The reason his psyche splits even more so is because she's invaded everything. He's the thing that he doesn't want in the groups because he needs it to be able to sleep, right? Then you get to the fact where whichever personality, we'll say Tyler, Tyler becomes involved with her, but you never see them in the same space. They're never in the same room. They're always either him talking to Ed Norton's character, to the narrator, and saying, say this, say that, don't talk about me. And then she's always fucking confused. Like she is so confused in this movie. She just doesn't understand because there's this, I'll say, abusive relationship around it, right? Because they draw off each other's negatives.
No. And like, well, no, she's on something to combat her mental
she's
state.
just as fucked up as he is, right? Like, I mean,
exactly.
like again, the classic scene of when she walks into testicular cancer and goes, "Oh, is this cancer?" It's like, well, yeah, because we've all got balls. It's our balls that have the cancer. You don't have balls. And even the line later on where she goes, "Well, I have more right to be there because I already don't have my balls." It's like, well, it's true, but it's a bit harsh. But okay. But again, it's like, but then it turns into this love story that's really warped. But again, with her, and obviously, as Tyler goes on and talks about it, I dress how you want to dress, I fuck how you want to fuck, like all these bits and pieces, where even the part where the sex scene with him and her, you never see the characters. You see her face, you never see his. So again, you never really know. You assume it's Pitt. You assume it's Tyler Durden character, but you never think of it as being Ed Norton, right? You never think of it being the narrator. And it's like, okay. And then the next morning, I had this crazy dream, and she goes, oh yeah. And as she comes out, and he's like, oh fuck, you've invaded my space once again. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's this twisted love triangle with himself and Marla. It's like, okay. But yeah, it's kind of fucked up. But I think she's the cause for a lot of his mental split to go and deal with. I need something for myself because I just can't control. And that's when the Tyler Durden that we know goes and is able to assert dominance over the actual character and go, I can start to be more in control, which,
he becomes
not say he didn't.
Tyler. Yeah, he becomes more of Tyler. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Agreed. 100%.
Okay. No, good one. All right. Another one that I find weird, and again, you mentioned Meatloaf before, and again, it was pretty funny. I think Bob's also super important to the whole thing as well. Like, Bob is, again, a catalyst. It's that first relationship that he builds in a therapy group to be able to sleep and to cry and do all that he needs, to the fact that Bob gets his brain shot out. I shouldn't laugh. That's not. Again, it's a movie. I can laugh because it's not real. But what do you guys take with the Robert Paulson part? You know, when he comes in, obviously it is the narrator. It's not the Tyler Durden character when he comes in and they bring Bob's body in. And again, he's just told Marla, Tyler's not here. Like, fuck off. Tyler's gone. And he doesn't realize it's him. And she's obviously shattered by the fact that he's just told her to fuck off again, because it's constant there, yin and yang, with him always being confused and always telling her to go away or fucking, not be there. And then, helps her with the breast to check for cancer, or, actually has that dialogue in the house where he's like, when he's talking about them being, no, we're fine. And he's talking about himself, like him and Tyler, but it's him. And she has that confusion, and he hears the banging. He's making the beds down below. With Bob's death, how do you guys take that? Because this is the part that always sort of got me in the movie. When they do in Project Mayhem, you don't have a name, but his name was Robert Paulson because he's died, right? But then as he's going through the journey trying to figure out where he's been, and he goes and talks to the other places, and when they're in the room, his name is Robert Paulson. Robert Paulson, and they sort of stop when he comes in. Like, how do you think Bob's death actually plays into the rest of the, I'm going to call them franchises of Fight Club? You know what I mean? Where he's gone and franchised out, he's spread out, right? Yeah, like, well, they're not, right? They're just different versions of the ones that he set. Well, Tyler Durden, whichever version has set up.
This is what I had a nitpick with, is, when he
seriously, we're an hour and 14 minutes in, and this is your nitpick. You could have brought it up earlier.
Well,
kept it straight and narrow, man. Fuck.
He goes.
What's your nitpick, man?
He gets arrested, and the cops are in on it as well.
Yeah.
And they're saying, "Oh, we have to cut your balls." And I was like, "Well, hang on. So, wow, even the cops are in on it. Like, he's evolved this thing into something's. It's a bit too far fetched for me, and it's intentional. I get, but it could kind of. I kind of think there's a bit of a stretch.
I'll give you my thought, and then I'll let Rich try and give you a thought as well, because again, I'm sure you got a version around it too, Rich. I reckon because again, you look at the police, right? Everyone.
By the way, that doesn't answer the question about Robert Paulson.
No, not about Robert Paulson, but it's a good question to answer, right? When we look at it in regards to, they're blue collar workers, right? Cops are blue collar workers. It doesn't matter how you look at it. They're not paid well. They risk their lives for fucking.
Okay.
It's honor. It's nothing else. Because we watch movies all the time where
So they've had enough of
fucking amazing. But yeah, man, I think they're just fucking blue collar workers like everyone else that's gone and found Fight Club as a belief, something to follow, something to be masculine, whatever. I reckon that would be the reason why it's the cop, not the detective. The detective leaves the room. It's not, it's the grunt workers, right? The lower detectives or the beat cops or whatever. Again, we're Australian. Forgive me if I got any of the interpretation wrong. But yeah, I reckon that's where it is. They're the grunt workers, right? Everyone that's a grunt worker has taken on this ideal of Fight Club. Rich, what do you reckon, man? You reckon the same thing or not?
Yeah, the same thing. It's they're all part of the organizations. They're all like ground workers, right? You said it before. It was
like
all
you don't want to
garbage.
say lower class because they're not.
But
But
no.
they're at a different social standing to others, right? They're the shit
man,
kickers in the world.
If someone right now said, "Hey, do you want to join Fight Club?" I'd say, "Fuck you, hell no." I don't want to.
But you never know yourself until you fight someone, man. You'll never know what you're like inside. You're gonna fight someone. I mean, even if you punch yourself in the ear, it's okay. Okay. So now we're going to go back to Robert Paulson. We're going to go back to Bob. How big a protagonist, or not a protagonist, but how big is Bob's arc in this story to make him understand that life's worth living? There's things that he can do besides this, do you reckon? I probably should have phrased that a little bit better when I asked you originally. Do you think Bob's passing, him being shot in the head, made him actually realize there's other ways to do it, or I've gone too far? Like, do you reckon that's part of the reason that he tries
I'll
to
be
set
honest,
things right?
I'm still confused by the whole. His name is Robert Paulson thing.
I think
I am confused.
I think it's the whole thing that, because everything was okay. Bob was his first connection, right? Because he was always alone before that. That's why he cried. That was his first connection to a person. So he was also always that good friend, and always that person that he had that kind of relationship with, right? So after that, and then when he dies, I think he realizes that, because everybody was a soldier, right? Everybody was a soldier kind of robot.
Well, then they're all space monkeys, right? They're all black pants, black boots, black t-shirt. Everyone's got a shaved head except for two, which we'll talk about in a sec.
And I think he realizes there and then that his friend had died, not just a person, not just a soldier.
Okay, that makes sense. Yep.
Yeah. So that's how I read it, right? So when he sees that and he goes, "Oh, this guy has a name. His name is Robert Paulson," and everybody starts to agree, because then the guy, what's I forgot the character's name now.
I can't remember.
When he talks about
Mindhunter.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
So then he says, obviously, in death you have a name. You have all that kind of stuff. But
I love that scene, man. I love that scene. When he says it.
But also, okay, so twist on that one then. Do you see the conflict in regards to the narrator and everyone else? Because this is one of the few times in there, and you don't see it much in this movie, and they do it really well, but he's Tyler. We all know that. They all know that. And he's like inconsequential to it. He's like, no, this isn't someone, this is a person. And he freaks out, right? And it's the first time that everyone just chants that his name is Robert Paulson. Like, do you reckon that? Well, it's a great line. His name is Robert Paulson.
It's so serious. That delivery of it.
But do you reckon that's part of it too, where he starts to understand that it's grown bigger than him, than Tyler?
Yeah, because that's because that's when, from that point, he goes searching, right?
Yeah,
see what else is being done. So he realizes that something's happening way past that he envisioned.
Well, he's seen the consequence, right?
Yeah.
Project Mayhem's gone so far, and then I've lost someone, and out of all of them, it's the one I care for. And this is another fact that I caught on to with the help of heavy spoilers. So heavy spoilers, check out Heavy Spoilers Fight Club review, is that there's only two without shaved heads. There's Pretty, Leto, and there's Bob. They're the only ones that don't have their head shaved, because Bob is the narrator's connection, and Tyler's is Pretty or Leto, right? They're the only two out of the whole faction that never shave their heads, because it's their favorites, and they're conflicting favorites, right? Pretty's full for the cause. Bob's just there because he needed an outlet, and he's found something that makes him feel better again. He's a juicer, etc. He's lost his nuts. That shit's all gone, and he's got nothing else. And this is what he's found. But he's the narrator's tie to reality, where Pretty's the other one. And again, I like the line where he's talking about, we're all told we could be rock stars, etc. And he looks at Leto, and Leto was 30 Seconds to Mars at this point. No, he had a band.
Was he?
Yeah. At that point, the band was starting. So again, it was very intentional with the dialogue around that one, and especially being Leto as well. Again, Tron Ares, good movie ish. It's worth seeing in digital. It's beautiful. But yeah, it's like their favorites are very conflicting, right? Pretty's very much about the cause, and Bob's just there because he needed somewhere to feel whole or feel manly or whatever. So yeah, it's quite a weird contrast between them both. And like I said, look at it next time we watch it. They're the only ones that don't have their head shape, except the dude sitting in the kitchen. Again, I don't know if that's
a mohawk.
Or
Yeah.
is that the fucking
Yeah.
cupboard behind him? Is it a mohawk or is it the
I
fucking
thought it was a
cupboard?
mohawk.
I thought it was a
Okay, so
mohawk.
did I, but again, I look at it and go, like, maybe he's not. Or again, maybe he's a favorite because there's different layers, obviously, of people around. And again, it's between different parts of the psyche, whether it's Tyler or it's Narrator. It very much splits. So it's like, yeah, it's a very different sort of thought. But
Could I ask
okay,
you guys a question?
you can, man, of course.
What's your favorite scene in the movie?
Ooh.
The airplane,
The airplane.
plane, yeah.
Is plane crashing or
The introduction,
introduction.
them talking.
Okay.
Them where he's basically telling him you're fucked. Yes, we got the same bag, whatever. The ass and the crutch. You know, that's like it's such a
You
Tyler
know, that's still
intro.
that's still in my head when I go into an airplane. Ass or the crotch.
Or to the cinema. You can give
Or the
me the
cinema.
ass, man. I don't care. Either one, I don't give a shit. We're friends.
Ass or the
But
crotch.
yeah.
I actually put that in my head when I like do that kind of sense when you're walking past someone. That's how much this movie has implanted in my head.
So next
Rich,
time you
what's
give me the ass,
what's,
I know how
what's
I
your
feel.
favorite scene?
Yeah. I would have to go either one or two. One is when he first starts fighting, hit me as hard as you can.
Yeah.
Or two, when they he basically lists out the rules
In the basement.
in the basement.
Okay.
But I would more
Nice.
lean towards the first fight. It's the more
What's yours?
introduction of Tyler.
What's yours, Andy?
You know the scene when he pours the chemical on his hand?
Oh, fuck,
yeah.
we haven't even got to that. Fuck. We're in the first act. We haven't even got past the first act. Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
No, that's
I gotta
awesome.
go to bed at some point. But yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you for keeping me on the track that we need to be on.
I do love that scene.
I think that's my favorite scene. Yeah.
Okay, my question is why? Why is that your favorite scene?
I think because it's Tyler's no longer just a random friend that he's living with. He's like it's I can't explain it. He's so brutally honest with him about why Tyler is the way he is, that it's hard to comprehend that the fact that God might not love you at all and you're just here to fucking consume, you know, that's your job in life. And he's just so brutally honest, and I think it's awesome, man. I love the way it looks. I love the intensity of it.
I love how brutal, like you said, he is with him too. Like, you know, hits him with the container, slaps him in the head. Look at this. This is your pain. Like, don't look away. Don't go to your fucking happy place. Don't look for the fucking. Don't look for it. Face the pain right now, and face the fact that you just aren't shit.
I do like that. Actually, show the other view of that on his own.
Yeah.
And
again, another gotcha with that, right? Is that they're the only two that have the same marking. Like it's the same scar on both of them. Again, it's that other fucking here's the gotcha. If you look close enough, it's the same mark on both of them.
Yeah, no, that's I think that's that.
No,
and
man, that's a good call.
Close second is when he beats himself up in front of the boss. It's good. That's always good.
That's good. That's always good. And he's making all the
okay. So a lead on question from that then, like, why do you reckon he thought of the first fight with Tyler instead of just fighting the boss and going through the motions? Like, why do you reckon? Because this is just after
his apartment blows up.
Yeah,
he's also seen the separation between Tyler and his, not infatuation, that's a fucking bad way of putting it, but his favoritism for Pretty as well, right? Because this has also happened because he started to feel separated from Tyler. He's not the only one where he doesn't understand it's you psychopath. They're both you, but he's Pretty's the favorite now, and then he has that fight with his boss. Do you reckon that's why he had that premonition to fight himself, or do you think or do you reckon that's for the audience? You reckon that's for the audience to go, oh, this dude just beat himself up. A fact. Oh, the twist won't make that much. It won't be that incomprehensible when we see that he fought himself before in the car park of Luke's. Like, do you reckon that was a catalyst moment for it? Like why did he not fight the boss? Because he hated his boss. Why didn't he not fight him, or at least act away? Because we know why. Again, I'll give you the answer in my head, is that he wanted the corporate sponsorship, right? He wanted the 52 paychecks. He wanted a computer. And again, when he walks out with the trolley of all the shit, he wanted to be able to go global, right? But do you reckon that was because he felt hurt by his other personality having a favorite? Or do you reckon it was more the pain around he wanted to fight Tyler more than the boss?
Good question.
Did any of that make sense? Do you want me to try and rephrase it?
No.
I reckon it's hard to answer.
Because that's the same for me, right? Like I look at that scene and I'm like, this is where, again, after you've seen it on a second watch, this is what happened in the car park. This is how Fight Club started.
Yeah.
Him fighting himself. But why did he focus it on Tyler instead of his boss, who he also hates? And like I said earlier, in the book, he kills that boss. He actually murders him. But
because you're introducing Tyler as his motivation to start Fight Club.
Yeah.
So if he was to fight his boss straight, it wouldn't make sense for him to start fighting his boss straight up.
But that was the assignment for that week. That was when everyone had to go pick a fight and lose.
Right.
And he lost to himself by beating himself up to beating it up to his subconscious.
But he subconsciously wanted to expand.
Well, he wanted to,
the club.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I sort of sit on that one. No, good answer. What do you reckon, Rich? He's like, yeah, this is a good answer.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
That's a great answer.
Yeah, I have to agree. I can't. Yeah, it's a good question.
Because that's the one that always freaks me out. It's like, why did he fight himself in the office? Like, I get when the security come in and he's in front of him, like the boss is beating him. So again, that's like a blackmail. That's blackmailing him into giving him just paying.
But that was intentional.
Yeah. Oh, very intentional. But why was the fight with Tyler? Right. That's why I don't know. I don't know if it was the hurt that he was no longer the favorite in his own head, even though Tyler's in his own head. It's Fight Club. It makes sense. Or, why did he not just fight his boss and let his boss beat the fuck out of him? Because his boss has fucking got the shits with him. His boss is done with his shit. He's coming in,
because the boss the boss isn't ready to lose what he has. Like the boss represents this imaginary stability that the boss isn't going to risk his job over this fucking guy.
Yeah. Well, he's just trying to fire him, right? He's just trying to get rid of him. So okay. Yeah. Rich, any other thoughts, man?
I'm still blank. I'm still trying to think.
No, this movie
does
that to you.
Yeah, and I agree with all you guys' points. So, that's kind of a good take on it. Never would have thought of that way.
Because this movie does that mind fuck, right? Like you sit there and you think around bits and pieces, and some of it, a lot of it does make sense, but some of the scenarios that you put in, it's like, why would he do that? Or even when you look at how there's still those elements of the narrator being in there where he's still got, I'll say compassion, or he's still conscious to the right way of how things are, where Tyler just doesn't give a fuck. It's just like,
Mm.
this is the path I want to go on. This is the way I'm set. Like, you know, he builds an army. Like, he makes them all. I say the space monkeys because it's very much in regards to they're sacrificial, right? The space monkeys are there to go into space and, oh, fuck, if something happens, are they just monkeys? No one's really going to be upset. And that's how he classifies all the soldiers that he builds, makes them all nameless, makes them all the same, where it's like, okay, it's such a dramatic push from where the beginning is, oh, Fight Club, yeah, it's just being manly, yeah, take it on the chin, just, you know, go hard, fight it out. At the end of the day, have a hug, you're good, you're a man, walk out of the bar. Where then Project Mayhem is, no, they're almost sacrificial. Like, they're all just nameless. And again, you look at it from a perspective of going, okay, they're just there to sacrifice to further one man's goals, right? It's a really, really massive look in regards to psyche of how people are. And this is why I reckon people don't get this movie now. We live in a day and age where people are a little bit more selfish, and that's how life is, you know. It's very, very much around, you know, not yes, material as well, but very vain in regards to it. You know, everyone has Instagram, everyone has TikTok. You're watching other people do other pieces of art, whatever you want to fucking call it. You know, YouTube, we're doing this now where it's very much, you know, opinions and people putting out what they can in regards to how they feel about something.
Everyone wants
And
to
it's
be a
very
rock
much
star.
everyone wants to be a rock star, right? Everyone wants 15 minutes of fame.
15 minutes of fame,
It's more of that. Yeah. It's very much in this movie, very much sits there and goes, well, why? Why do you fucking want that? At the end of the day, it really gets you nothing. Or you look at the consumerism side of it all, is like, we have to be perfect. So we buy everything to make it look a particular way. My studio is set up a particular way because someone on YouTube says, this is the best way to present. And again, we all fall into that category in different parts of life. But yeah.
This is the best soap you can buy, and it's, you know,
It is, and it's made of fat ladies' asses.
Yes.
And this is all the fat
makes
from
it
all
up.
you fucking dumb fucks that have had it sucked out of your body.
It's so good, so good.
That's such a good point. Let's talk about that. So again, how cool is the part where he sit there and goes, you know, I'm selling fat ladies' asses back to themselves in soap for $20 and whatever they charge it. Again, it does that flip of consumerism, right? We look at this. The whole movie's based around it. Like, there's one part, and I probably paid more attention to it last night. Like, did you guys notice how much Starbucks is in this movie? Only because we had the conversation on the weekend, Rich, about Starbucks, right? Starbucks out my way, there's one out your way now, and it's accessible. And there's Starbucks fucking everywhere in this movie. Like, I never realized how many. And also, the other thing is, the Starbucks is always around a printer. And again, when you look at printers, right, they're carbon copies. It's creating a copy of something. So again, the metaphor around the movie is that, like, there's all these, it's just copies upon copies, and then it's consumerism where everyone has to have this particular brand of coffee to make life go on and be accepted. When we look at Fight Club, what do you guys, do you think the consumerism side, and again, we're talking 26 years later, we're not talking about a movie that's modern. It is an old film by all standards, right? Do you think when they look at the consumerism, do you think things have changed for us? Like, do you think that's something that's different, or do you think it's more heightened?
10 times worse.
It's worse.
It's intensely worse. It's, if you don't get this, you don't fit in, you know, this kind of stuff. There's influences now. It's, that never existed. If, you know, these influences are selling this soap, probably, you know. Yeah, it's pretty dire, to be honest. There's a lot of pressure on people to you know,
be a certain way, right?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Keep up with the Joneses.
all that
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
stuff.
And that's it, right? I think
And,
things
and
haven't really changed.
we're all a product of our own environment where we live, right? So the goal is to where we live, is to buy a property and hope it goes up in value so you can get
Sell it
rich
and
that
get
way.
another one and be in debt forever, and then sell it
all,
and keep going up and up.
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas, so the lesson from this movie is just, it's a hard lesson to live by if you really wanted to live by Tyler's way, but people do it. People do it. It's alternative lifestyle, but people just live on the fringe, on the edge. Whether they're psycho enough to create like a cult to disrupt society, that's another story. But
That's a different story.
honestly, but there probably are. There are people. Like if you go on different social media platforms, there's definitely people that influence other people in that way to see an alternative way of living. But it's hard, man. It's the momentum. The train's gone, left the station. Like it's hard to change where we're going, and it's changing so fast that people don't even realize. AI is obviously a big thing that's changed people's lives.
Definitely. Well, it'd be interesting today, right, to look at the continuation of this story because, like, AI is such a big thing, is such a huge component of life in general. But again, it's something like we use frequently, and it's like, but how far does it go? Because I mean, again, we're gamers, right? So the other side is like I was thinking about this the other day is the chip shortage or the storage, the RAM shortage. Like I heard today there's a federal court case in the US for it because it's fabricated. It's not real. It's going, we're going to create this shortage. So it actually affects us going, oh, well, we have to because AI needs this and consumers need this and we don't have enough to manufacture it. So we need more money. It's like it is consumerism's changed in regards to how we look at things. But I think the thing of this movie is it is no different from 26 years ago and nothing's changed. The names have changed. The presence still exists around consumerism.
There's a line he says. There's a line he says at the bar. He goes, "The things you own end up owning you." That's perfect, man. That is 100% fucking true. You get into debt. You have mortgage. You have to work a shit job that you don't really want to do to pay for all this shit that you don't really need sometimes. So it's perfect, man. It really nails the theme on the head for me. Yet I continue to consume and buy shit that I don't need.
Because it is cool. At the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with consuming shit. But like, I think you nailed it as well as around that being able to be honest with yourself and going, how much of it does own me instead of the other way around, right? Like, again, we do a podcast around physical media. We buy a lot of things to consume for entertainment's sake, right?
It's getting worse.
And we all know they fuck us. Like, again, physical media corners next week, but we'll be fucked again then, but that's okay.
Everything's getting more expensive. Like, everything's costs more. Everything's getting more expensive, and you're constantly trying to keep up. And what the movie says, what Tyler's saying is just let it go. Just let it fucking go. You don't need any of this shit. It's easier said than done. But yeah, it's and obviously he has two personalities he's different. So,
he also shot himself in the head and also went to blow up buildings.
He can't. That's it, right? He's trying to shake off the person holding on to the reality of keeping up with the Joneses and consuming. Like Tyler's trying to shake off Ed Norton's character so he can be free to set this whole do whatever. It's chaos. So yeah, it's pretty good, man. It's yeah, that's why people these days probably just look past it because they're too busy consuming.
I think that's the best point when you go back to when you recommended this to someone, obviously younger than we are, right? So didn't
Yeah.
live through that time frame of life. And it's very much where people may be afraid of the side of being able to let go a little bit, or when they know I'm competing with everyone else in life.
What does letting go actually mean for people? Like, does it mean going without a coffee?
I don't get the Tesla. I go get something else.
Yeah. Or, does it mean having a big night out and, having a day off, one day off, to recover? What does it mean to really let go? And that's what Fight Club shows. Like, you go all, it's hard to go all the way. Yeah.
Unless you just beat the shit out of each other, create an army, and live in a house that doesn't
Go psycho.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Maybe that's
anyone does. I think this movie gives a lot for you to think about, right? Like, and again, like we look at it as an older movie, but again, everything is still so poignant to today. Like, there's nothing in this movie that doesn't relate. There's certain pieces of dialogue maybe are different, etc. But again, the consumerism exists. It's like Rich said before, and you've said as well, Andy, keeping up with the neighbors, the Joneses, keeping up with what's hip, in, whatever, to be, accepted. And this movie goes and pushes against it, going, well, you don't need to. But this movie goes to the extreme where it's like, well, let's just reset the fuck out of everything. Let's put everyone on an even playing field, because that will never exist, because those credit card companies, they're not going to destroy the ultra wealthy. They've not got money. They're not worried about their credit cards.
There's someone out there that's still watching the original Fight Club DVD on their old CRT TV and just going, this is fucking awesome. I don't need a 4K fancy ass TV.
Yeah.
You are wrong. You need a 4K TV. You need a 4K player, and you need to watch this movie in Ultra HD, because this movie is fucking beautiful.
So there's a lot of irony in this movie, in real, even with its physical media about it. It's awesome.
Oh man, again, for the physical media side, this is the best investment I've ever made. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It is so worth that price. We didn't get robbed, for a change. We didn't. It took a while to get here, but that's okay. 3 weeks is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But again, it's such a lesson in looking at things in regards to how you can deal. And again, we're talking about schizophrenia. We're talking about dual personalities. We're talking about bipolar, whatever you want to classify the narrator and Tyler Durden as. But, at the end of the day, how wrong is the concept? No, the concept's not wrong. I don't think the concept.
How far can it go?
How they dealt with things. Yeah, exactly. Like, how far can you go? Very true. Like, we're not going to blow up buildings.
Yeah, they went to 0 to 100 in.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't mind making soap. That's fine. That's fine. I have a problem with making soap and then selling it. But I don't know how I feel about getting, waste. Like, there's got to be some library clinics around Sydney where go get some fat and scrape the glycerin off on top, and
people steal copper now. I thought that was like random. Like, people steal copper to sell.
It's not stealing if you put it out the front of your house, Gelfie. That's not stealing. When it's in your local rubbish collection, that's just take whatever's there so the rubbish man can take the rest.
No, man. Don't know. I think I'm curious to know, how far would you go? So say they succeed and reset everyone's credit score to 0. Like, what's the next step above that,
Fight clubs everywhere.
So these books, are they actual sequels? to they are.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Because obviously, in regards to the books, there are changes to the story, so the story doesn't obviously sit. So again, the narrator has a name. There's certain things that happen in the books that are different from what happens in the movie. Like how they meet is very different. And again, Rich, when you get to the part where the narrator's sitting on a nude beach and doesn't realize it's a nude beach, and then wakes up to Tyler's penis over his head. See, third time we mentioned penis in this one. Yeah, that'll be an interesting read, because supposedly that's how they meet. Jack,
Not on the plane.
narrator, he goes to a beach, doesn't realize it's a nude beach. He passes out, he falls asleep on the beach and wakes up to Tyler's dong hanging over his head. And that's how they meet. So they don't meet in the airplane. So that was mad. That was made for the movie. So yeah, it's other strange bits of facts that happen in there. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see, because it would differ from how the movie ends, obviously, because if there's 3-4 books, Tyler can't be gone. So hey. So yeah, you should read it, man. Or get him on Audible. Or buy the books.
It's also, there are like some graphic novels as well about it, so it's good to look into.
All right, boys. I swear there's heaps we probably missed.
We have
probably so much we've missed.
But I'm tapped out.
It's like I'm done. You've done the tap on the shoulder. You know the blood's dripping out. You're done. Just going. Oh man, next week. Again, I think we covered the things that we really wanted to get out in regards to it. How we felt about the transfer. Again, you can obviously tell from the passion of the conversation that we really enjoy this movie. So again, it is one of our all-time favorites as a group, and it's like I said at the very beginning of the podcast. It's probably the first time we've had a real in-depth discussion around the movie and how it's based. So again, awesome conversation, boys. That was really good. And again, if we have to do another one on Fight Club, I swear no one's going to worry about it. We'll do part 2. I just got to remember what we talked about in this one, so we can go 2 hours about something different and not the same thing. All right. Again, as always, we have reached the end of the podcast, but we do need to do quickly. What's everyone been watching? I'm going to start because mine is super easy. I have watched Fight Club and I have watched Fight Club. I've watched nothing else this week. I've been playing Ghost of Yote, and that's consumed the last week of my life because I never finished it. So I had to. So again, I've watched Fight Club 1.5 times, but that's me for the week. Rich, what you been watching, man?
Yeah, a lot.
She left you to last.
Maybe, go, Andy. You go first.
Andy, you go first. Let Rich remember what he's watched.
So I
in the last 2 weeks.
The Michael Jackson movie, and I actually liked it. Very safe movie, and the guy, his nephew that plays Michael, looks all fucked up, and he looks very strange. But I think in that, then he nails the voice and the dance moves and all that. But I liked it. Yeah, like biopics are pretty good. I'm a fan of biopics. So
did you watch that as well, Rich, lately? Have you watched it?
I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, sorry,
I need to
Gabby,
watch
it's just you. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. But I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. Definitely better than Disclosure Day. So anyway.
And Supergirl. It's much better than Supergirl from what I hear.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I watched I've watched the first hour of Avatar Fire and Ash, is that what it's called? And I just got over it. I was just like, no, I can't watch this anymore. Like, it's
Tapped out.
Yeah, I think you need to watch that once on a big screen at the cinema and you're done. And I watched a horror movie called Hokum, and it stars.
Oh, how was it?
It's got Adam Scott in it, so he's in Severance. Yeah. Have you ever watched Severance? Anyone? No.
I started Severance.
I know it. I started it. Yeah.
Anyway, I thought it was a good movie. It's by the director, Irish director that did The Odyssey. I've forgotten his name, and it's set in Ireland again, and it was really good. Yeah, enjoyed it. So
Nice.
that's a couple of good movies.
Nice. Rich, lay it on us, man. What you been watching?
Let's see. We got 2 weeks to go through. That's why. All right, I'll give you
I still haven't watched that
the
much.
quick, the quick and easy ones. I watched Fast and Furious 8 and 9, which is starting to get worse and worse.
Yep.
Watched, as I mentioned before, watched Primal Fear with the wife, which we both love. That's a great movie. Still is. Finished off My Big Fat Greek Wedding. We watched number 3. And obviously watched Fight Club, which was great, especially on 4K. And the other ones we should. Oh wait, and I had started the Bourne series a while back, so I had to finish those. So I've watched Legacy and the last one. And I watched Trouble with the Curve, which is got Clint Eastwood, which I really enjoy that movie. It's a great movie. And other ones, so the other ones I haven't mentioned, which is really, really great. And one was really disappointing. So disappointing one, Mortal Kombat 2.
Oh,
yeah, I'm not surprised. There's a reason we don't go to the movies. Really bad?
Oh, it wasn't
bad or
bad,
just disappointing?
It was disappointing. It wasn't like I give it. It's an average movie. Like I give it the same rating as the first one, which I just gave it 3. But I thought I was just expecting more. I don't know why. I was expecting better. And it was kind of like I watched it and it gave me a bit of a weird sense of it after I watched it. But yeah. One movie we watched the other night, which is great on 4K, is Super 8, which I bought in JB Hi-Fi. Buy one, get one free sale, and that's great. And one was a brand new one, which I haven't watched before, and it's recommended by Andy, Barbarian. That was a great movie.
I enjoyed it.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I gotta watch Barbarian.
That's
not until August.
Movie.
I don't have to watch that one until August, because we got too many things to watch.
That movie I highly recommend to you, Dave. Like for because that's his first movie, right?
Yes.
And that for a first movie to to kick it off, unbelievable.
Okay, so I should look forward to Resident Evil then, and we should be good.
Yeah, and so as I said on the messages, like on our group chat, I'll never look at an Airbnb ever again.
No. Especially one that's with abandoned houses next to it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And a Skarsgård hanging around.
Yeah. Don't go to the middle of somewhere in Detroit in the middle of abandoned
Just
houses.
Don't go to Detroit. We figured out as a group, we've decided we're never going to Detroit.
Nah.
Detroit scares the shit out of me.
But yeah, that's the end of the list. It's been a lot.
That's not too bad, man. Hey, are you still doing your MCU ones or no?
Yeah, we're going to get back into it. I'll probably get back into it before
with all the Spider-Man movies about to come up.
Yeah. So I've already watched most of them, so I'm good.
So
nice.
Change the subject back to Fight Club real quick. What?
Yes.
How would you rate this as David Fincher's filmography? Is it his best movie, or what would be his best movie?
I reckon 7 is his best movie.
7?
See, I go the other way. I reckon. I haven't watched 7 in fucking a decade, so probably have to go back and revisit. But I was thinking about that the other day after watching it. I was like, I'd like to go back and actually watch 7. And see.
I think Fight Club's better than 7.
I think the end of 7 fucking 7's end is so traumatic where it fucks you that you sit there and go,
Mm.
wow, like, you know, what's in the box? Who knows what's in the box? We all know what's in the box. Like we know, but I don't remember anything else from the movie. It's like I'd have to go and watch it again. But again, I don't know, because there's obscure shit from Fincher as well.
Like what?
Let's go all those fucking weird ones. Didn't he do fucking? Didn't Fincher do Mulholland Drive and shit like that? Isn't that
No,
him?
he did.
No, who did that?
No.
All right,
That
hold
was
on.
Lynch.
Let's.
David Lynch.
Yeah, fuck. All right, same fucking first name. Same.
Say this.
All right,
right?
hold on.
So
Let's
Fight
go.
Club. Wait. If we go Fight Club, I reckon 7 is a better movie than Fight Club. Like I would say nearly equal, but I would rate. I don't know how this if it makes any sense to you, but I just rate it higher than in my top list in movies. But overall, I think 7 is because you got to think about it. 7 was his second movie. Brad Pitt came out. Like
Alien 3 is definitely not his best.
Yeah, but there was a lot of studio stuff about Alien 3. So
All right, hold on. Filmography. All right, I'm gonna list them because fucking why not? Got a lot of time.
Okay.
All right. Let's just do director.
Yeah.
All right.
He hasn't got much.
Director only. Alien 3. Okay, so
Okay.
Alien 3 was first. 7.
Yep.
The Game, which I do
Yeah.
rate. That is a
I do
fucking
rate.
decent movie. That's a great
Yep.
one.
Mm-hmm.
Fight Club, Panic Room, Zodiac, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. You love
Unbelievable.
Zodiac. I know that's
I love
up there
Zodiac.
for you. Social Network, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the English non-Swedish fucking version. Gone Girl,
Mhm.
Mank, The Killer, and The Adventures of Cliff Booth. I haven't
See,
watched The
this
Adventures of
is
Cliff
where-
Booth because it's not out for us.
So this is where it goes, right? For me, it goes 7 and Fight Club. Look, it has to be equal to me because I rate Fight Club as one of my top in my list, and then it goes Zodiac. Even
I've got.
even the Game and Panic Group is up there.
I've not seen
See,
Panic Room.
Oh, it's good. It's not as good, but I still rate it.
Looking at this list, how many have I watched? That's also, there's like 3 there I haven't watched.
I've watched all of them.
I really haven't.
I think
I haven't watched Mank. That's the only one I haven't watched.
I've watched Mank, and I would never
you
watch it again. No.
Gelfie, what's yours?
But the
then?
other thing is,
Sorry, Rich, go.
no, go Gelfie.
I've got probably Fight Club, Zodiac, then 7, Gone Girl, and The Game is the top 5.
And you also have to think about Social Network.
I don't have to think about Social
I've
Network.
seen it once. I don't need to see it again.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Don't know.
I swear I saw
especially with
Eisenberg
that-
play the same shit in fucking Superman, Man of Steel.
I
I mean,
can't
BVS.
stand that guy. I can't stand that guy.
and again, that soundtrack to that movie is unbelievable.
Social
Whereas
Network.
mine is one of Social Network.
I'd have to watch The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo because I like the original. I don't remember liking Fincher's. I don't remember thinking it was good, that good.
No, it was too. Like it tried to be, it tried to recreate too much.
Yeah, which it couldn't
but
do.
with extra, like trying to even make it even grittier or even grimmer.
Yeah,
that's what I found. And it was
the original's good, but better than the remake.
Yeah,
I still remember the original trilogy's heaps. It's great.
The original is good.
Okay.
Cool.
Anyway,
thanks. That was a shit question, Gelfie, because all of us are confused of which is actually. So we all put Fight Club up there except for Rich.
Look, if I had to, like, it'd be number 2 or equal to 7. 7 has like a.
I'd have to
in my head as
rewatch
well.
7, I reckon, because I remember bits of it.
The 4K
it's been so long.
Yeah, 4K is great.
I don't need material things, man. I'll just watch it on DVD.
It's on Steelbook as well.
VHS.
I'll get a VHS of that in the game. Actually, I need to rewatch the game too. And Zodiac.
Oh, Zodiac.
Zodiac.
I have to rewatch all of them. Yeah. Of what I can remember, Fight Club's the best. But that's just me. No, that's a good question because there are classic movies in that list. Cool.
And I've watched all of them except for one.
You're a sicko. And you all watched them
Even
all
The
in
Killer.
the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I like the. No one liked The Killer, but I did. I thought it was,
I did. I thought it was good.
such a random movie.
Yeah, it is. And that long intro.
I don't think I've ever seen. Who's in that? Who's in The Killer?
Fassbender.
Fassbender.
See, already I would watch that just because that. Oh, okay. Yep, I know which one you're talking about. I haven't watched it, but I know what you're talking about. Okay, I would actually watch that. I've looked at watching that.
It's weird. His Netflix movies.
It's Fassbender. Everything's weird with Fassbender in it. It's all right.
Nah, it's not the same. Like when they release movies straight onto Netflix, like big name directors. I find I don't know what it is. It just doesn't have the same prestige as like a movie that goes to cinemas.
Didn't have to try as hard, man. You got 4 billion people going to watch it anyway for free.
It just
not
comes
for
and
free.
goes. It just comes and goes, and people forget it. Yeah, that's my 2
And
cents.
most of the time, no physical media release.
Yeah,
Netflix forever. It's on rotation. Boys, as always, that was an awesome one. Again, I'm glad we did it when we did it. We could have started with Fight Club, and it would have been 17 weeks without experience. But now at episode 18, I think that was a really good discussion around. And again, like we said, we could probably go on for another fucking 2.5 hours because the movie has so many layers. And again, if there is anything we missed, leave it in the comments because, again, if it's something that we can revisit, there is nothing stopping us for going back in a little while because, again, it gives us another excuse to watch this. I'm going to call it a masterpiece. The one thing I didn't ask you guys, what'd you give it? Again, we got to have the rating. All right. It's 5's all right. Again, I had to just do it. I didn't do it at the end, but I thought I might as well ask just to confirm because sometimes there are discrepancies in thoughts in regards to how we do it. So as a podcast, that's one of the few that I think we've ranked. Everyone's just given the 5 out of 5. Do you
Matrix? I think was
Sinners.
I think Matrix.
What was Sinners? What did you guys give Sinners?
I gave it.
I can't remember.
4 out of 5.
Okay, you fucked it. All right, cool. All right, you that one. So okay, Matrix is the only other one. So besides Fight Club, you can tell when we were born, eh? That gives away our age so badly in regards to our 2 5 out of 5s movies around that same period of time. Six months,
year.
maybe apart, if not even less. But again, you can tell the kind of movies we like. All right, excellent. Again, everyone, thank you for joining us for the Hype Check Pod for this week. Again, gone a little bit longer because obviously we didn't do anything last week. So it's nice to have the conversation. Andy, Rich, as always, appreciate your time. I appreciate your insight. And again, yeah, the audio in this movie was fucking awesome. So again, I will show this as one of my physical media ones next because I haven't had it yet. I haven't had it in my hands until this weekend. So that is one of my ones for June. Again, please like, comment, subscribe. Leave a comment down below because it always helps us in regards to things you like, things you didn't like, and again, things you didn't agree with. Again, your takes on Fight Club are more than appreciating this one because this movie is open to interpretation from everyone, different walks of life. So again, if there is something you want to put down the bottom, maybe something we missed, please feel free to. You can leave it in the comments below. Again, we're on Apple and Spotify, and obviously here on YouTube. So again, everyone, thank you for watching. Appreciate your time, and we will see you in the next episode of the Hype Check Pod. All right, everyone, have a good week, and see you later.
Bye.